Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, we're
stream.
we're live. I think everything's good. Yeah. Sorry,
Part
everybody.
2, everybody. Welcome back to PM and the PM. We'll take a minute here, let everybody kind of get over. Let's see. Let's
you were on fire though, man, with your Hellblade
yeah,
let's feedback so far. It sucks. I don't know exactly when it cut out. Yeah, because I was actually looking on Twitter, and then I went back and like I just noticed it said stream is finished. I was like, what? Stream shouldn't be finished.
We're gonna let everybody roll back in here. I'm gonna tweet out this new link for everybody.
Yeah, thanks everybody for hopping back in here. We're just getting reacclimated.
Yeah.
Shout out to Masshole, Jagger, Web Dave, Free Bear, 3-bit, David, Patman Jones, what's up? Nate Dogg, Free Bear, Angry Hippie, Scorpio. What's going on, guys? Thanks for finding the new stream so quickly. You guys rock. You can hear Pong typing like
I know I'm typing like Caitlin right now.
I was trying to think of some comparison. That's the perfect one.
Yeah, I know.
What's up, Matthew? BT Maverick. What's up? Nikita Percy, we're back. Yes, we are back.
All right, I'm gonna tweet that out. There we go. All right, part 2, everybody. I don't know where we cut off. Obviously, I was telling Xbox to not mess with Ninja Theory. Okay?
We weren't paying our Xbox taxes. That's what's going on.
Yeah, obviously. Do not mess with Ninja Theory. Yeah. Whatever you got to do, whatever you think about doing, these types of devs have to exist to push the medium forward. I was going to say when Matt told me we were off was that just much like Kojima, I don't like everything Kojima does, right? I don't, but I think he is a creative, and I know some people really don't like what he does, but he is a creative in the space that does push things. I have zero, if what is being said about OD, I have zero interest in ever touching that fucking game, okay? Zero. But do I still think the things that he is trying to do and his different ideas and trying to be innovative in a space that can get very stagnant is important? Yes. And while Ninja Theory might not be reinventing the wheel with Hellblade 2, they are taking the wheel and making it that much better in a lot of areas. Okay? You can disagree with me on combat. You can disagree with me on the walking simulator stuff, whatever. They are pushing the industry forward in their own ways by using the Unreal Engine 5 tech to its fullest as it's available right now. These types of studios need to exist. So Xbox, Microsoft, Amy Hood, Satya, don't you even think about touching these guys and gals. Do not. I don't care what the numbers say. I don't care what you think you big brains think in the short term is going to be better for Xbox. Do not touch Ninja Theory. In fact, cultivate them, continue to expand them, get to them to the point where they can work on multiple projects.
Yeah, don't overreact to the 45 numbskulls and people like that.
No. Again, I don't know where we cut off. As somebody who might not wind up finishing this game due to the mental aspects of it and what it does to me, I still think that this game is freaking phenomenal. And I am so happy for everybody who is playing through it, enjoying it, finishing it, and however long it takes. Doesn't matter. It's a short experience. It's an impactful experience. And I see more people saying they're going back through another playthrough. Great. This game deserves tons of awards at the end of the year in tons of different categories. Do I think it should be game of the year quality category? I think it probably should slip in there. I think it probably should be in there. I think enough people agree that this is a masterpiece that it should be in that conversation this year. Now, we got a lot more year to go. We already have some really great games out there. And it won't be my game of the year, obviously, for obvious reasons. It won't be my game of the year. I'm not going to cap like that. I don't do that. Okay? But do I think it should be just from all the stuff that it does hit on? Absolutely, I think it should be considered. Okay? So this is a W for Xbox. This again is a grand slam for Ninja Theory. They set out to do something and they accomplished that goal. In my eyes, they did exactly what they wanted to do and did it to a very high level. In fact, a level in some instances nobody has touched yet. So setting the bar, yep, check. Give Ninja Theory their flowers. Screw the haters. That's what I think about. That's what I think about Hellblade 2 so far.
Screw them. Screw them all. All right.
Oh, man. All right, everybody.
People said I cut the stream off on purpose so I could get you to stop talking.
Probably.
No, I was again, loving
Steel
what
does
Ron
that too.
Was saying.
Steel puts me on mute. Shit, they both do it to me. It's fine. I know I'm long-winded. Again, it's not like I'm hating on it. I'm like, okay, we could come up with something better if you want me to stop. Just say, okay, that's enough now, Pong. Great, thanks.
Yeah.
Again, I know I talk a lot.
No, you're good. I enjoy the long spiel. It's very well put thoughts. Well thought thoughts. That's not a well thought statement.
Well thought thoughts. I like it.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. All right, man. What do we want to get into? I mean, you got anything more that you need to add to Ninja Theory or to Hellblade 2 or
just judge games for what they are. Be objective as possible as you possibly can be. Take yourself out of everything is not for you, and when you're judging games, think about overall aspects of them. That's kind of just general sense that I would have for it. Tips for people that are reviewing games or talking about games. That I think a lot of people like. If you don't like something, it sucks. It's trash, right? Not necessarily the case. It could just be not for you, right?
How about we don't dig up reviewers that haven't done a game review in 2 years?
Yeah.
And then throw them on Hellblade 2 and have them put out a 45. Yeah. How about we not do that too? At least try to be credible. Let's not dig up people that legitimately, again, I may be wrong, but I did search for the gentleman who gave the 45 score. He considers himself a game reviewer. He hasn't done a review that I could find since Elden Ring. That's 2 years ago, folks. And they dug him up for Hellblade 2. A little weird. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Not every game is for everybody, right? And that's one of the best things about the ecosystem of Xbox is that they have a variety of different kinds of games. And what Phil's vision, what we were trying to protect when these other studios got laid off and what we were criticizing them for is closing some of those studios, was that the more different kinds of studios making different kinds of games, different kinds of experiences is better for us, right? And this is what they let Ninja Theory do. So for me, that's what, as gamers, that's what most of us should want. Like, I don't know, like, otherwise we just make everybody support studios for the biggest franchises out there and just leave it at that. But instead we get these different experiences that are going to be for somebody, right? There are people that will appreciate something like this way more than others, and but the quantifiable aspects of it when it comes to things that are judgeable, that are not feeling based, this game is going to smash the competition out of the water in multiple categories, and they are setting that standard. And the feeling aspect of it, that's the subjective side that's going to be the same for every single game out there, right?
Yeah.
That's why you shouldn't be able to write 1,000 words that equate to something like I didn't like it.
Yeah.
It should be more of objective based feedback and serving an audience for these things. But if it's not, maybe everybody accepts that as the world we live in today. Overall, I think the game's gotten amazing reviews for the most part, and it is going to go down as a win, especially later this year when it takes home multiple awards for different categories, and not from just the Keeleys, which is the more public facing one, but from the ones that actually matter.
The BAFTAs and those ones, they definitely should clean up in a lot of categories.
They're gonna be taking home a lot of hardware, right?
Yeah. I agree wholeheartedly. Danny Passion with the $2. Let's go, Danny Passion. Says 80 people made a masterpiece. Great sequel.
Yeah. On the past stream, we had some super chat we didn't get to yet.
Okay,
also,
get to those too.
So I hope you guys found your way over here because didn't know the stream was going to crash. So apologize. And I still see it's like not.
Never knew we did cover Snowbike Mike, by the way.
Yeah.
I did give him flowers for what he did. So yes, we did cover that early on. We went through the negative stuff in the beginning. Snowbike Mike, I pointed out as somebody who actually called out Greg, was fantastic. Simply fantastic.
Angry Hippie with the 5 says there is an exception to every rule. Hellblade 2 is the exception to the 60 rule.
Yeah, the 60 frame rule.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people have said that. A lot of people that have always been about 60 frames said that this is like the one experience where they can understand that 30 frames and what they're trying to do does make sense. Now, after Digital Foundry, watching Digital Foundry, talking, obviously not the tech guy. Will they come out with a 60 frames patch eventually? Yes, I think they will.
I think they'll end up doing more updates and give more options for different things.
They will.
Stuff.
More options are always good, but I will say that I understand why this could be the one argument where 30 frames in a game absolutely could be the de facto choice for a lot of people. I can see that in this game.
Yeah,
for sure. 1000%.
Leonard Herrera with the $2 says, respect to you both, the channel and community support. So I hope you're here in this stream, Leonard. I appreciate you 100%, as well as everybody here in the community. You guys rock. Angry Hippie with a 5 says, kind of feel a lot of the negative reviews stem from not being able to conquer their own demons like Senua has, so they can't relate. Maybe. Just angry people. Maybe they're a bunch of angry hippies, huh?
Maybe.
Might
be. It's a good one, Matt. Good dad joke.
I like thanks, man.
Good one. Yeah. You got to have at least one of those to show. I love it.
Yeah.
Let's go. I do it when I'm reading off names. So whatever. I get my dad jokes out of the way. Any more we got to cover there, man?
No, that's it. Caught up.
Cool. All right, let's get to, again, we're flying by the seat of our pants tonight, folks, even more so than usual. So let's, I just want to hit a couple smaller ones, Mav, and then maybe we will talk a little about earlier in this week. We don't have to be long-winded because neither one of us are the giant know-it-alls when it comes to all this stuff, but I have promoted, I still remember the show where I said, Mav, we got to talk about this, the AI stuff and what they're doing over on the Copilot side and what they're starting to show, which could translate into gaming a little bit. Touch on that briefly, but let's get a couple smaller ones out of the way real quick. Stellar Blade developer Shift Up confirms both a PC version and a sequel are under consideration. They also have a new project called Codename Witches in development, cross-platform gotcha game for PC, console, and mobile. Shift Up also had an interview this week in which the lead of the studio, the head of the studio, said that he wants to make his studio. Oh no, that was Arrowhead, actually, I believe. It was Arrowhead. Never mind. But this is good news. I don't care. People can call it port begging. I don't care. I want games to be where I'm at. And again, Stellar Blade is the only game, like for PS5, for me to go out and buy a PS5, there needs to be more than the couple games that there are. So I'm not going to buy PS5 just to go play Stellar Blade. This was originally announced for PC and Xbox, right? We know the Xbox one isn't happening because of Sony, but the PC one should happen. Okay, 100%. So I'm going to port beg for the PC version. Absolutely bring this game to PC. Okay, bring this game to PC. I want to play Stellar Blade. Yes, I do like beautiful women in my games, so that's a part of it, but that's not all of it. I'm not afraid to admit that. I don't give a shit. The second part is the action, the combat, the monsters, the world. I want to play that game. So I hope they do make that happen for sure. He also said that sales of Stellar Blade are exceeding expectations. Studio will continue to expand AAA efforts and invest in new IPs moving into 2025. Happy for Shift Up. I am extremely happy for the studio that came out of freaking nowhere and goes for the gold out the gate. Sure, leaning into the sexiness of their game to create hype. Absolutely. Sex sells, always will. Don't care what any got to say. Okay? I don't care what anybody has to say about any of this shit. Sucks sells. It always will. They leaned into it. It worked, but they also created a great game, which a lot of people are complimenting on outside of just taking screenshots of Eve and the other characters. They are actually complimenting the actual action and the rest of it. The story up and down for a lot of people, but monster designs, boss battles, a lot of people complimenting the hell out of this game. I want to see it come, so I'm happy to hear about this. Matt, have you got anything on Stellar Blade?
No, I'm gonna play it eventually. I'll probably get it when it's like dirt cheap on sale at some point down the road.
Sure, absolutely, fair enough. Sounds good. Larian opened a new studio. That's right, Larian now has 2, and they also confirmed they opened a new studio in Warsaw. Oh hey, Warsaw again, Mav.
Yep.
Well, hey, that's where Elsewhere Entertainment is. Oh man, what's going on in Poland? Oh, that's right. CDPR is there. People Can Fly is there. The government helps invest into video games. Sounds like a pretty damn cool place to me.
Yeah, if you want to be a game dev, that's a cool area, man. Like, a lot of talent there. They're making good use of that Baldur's Gate 3 money now, huh?
Hell yeah, they are, because they said, along with opening this new studio in Warsaw, they are confirmed that they were working on 2 very ambitious RPGs, have started development at Larian.
So what do we think? What do we think? They do the next. What was the other franchise that we loved?
Let's go.
That they were doing. What's the other game that they do that we
you're talking to me? Oh,
yeah.
Oh my God! Why do you bring me in?
Blank
bring me in when you blank, and you know I'm gonna blank too.
Fucking hell! I love this game.
Jesus Christ!
I fucking love the game, and I can't think of the name of it right now. It's just like going blank. Larian's other games before they did the fucking
Divinity.
Thank you. Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2. Right.
Fuck.
Yeah, I think one of them will maybe be the next Divinity, right? And then who knows what the other one would be. My dream. I have a dream. Pong.
Go for it.
I don't think they're gonna do it because I think they're gonna be done with D&D.
Yeah.
Because I think they've already said that. But
probably
if they're not, they would be the dream studio for me to go and make Neverwinter Nights 3.
Yes, of course, but they're not. I think they're done.
They could do for Neverwinter Nights what they did for Baldur's Gate.
Good. I
know people are gonna say there's a Neverwinter game. Yeah, it's an MMO thing, completely different. I
personally hope they're doing Divinity, right?
Yeah.
And finishing off, right? Trilogy. Should be fantastic. I actually hope that they kind of go into the open world action.
Yeah, RPG. Like a Western, traditional open world style.
Yeah. Yep. Something new.
Compete
new
against
IP.
The Witcher style.
And Elder Scrolls.
Could you imagine how mature they would probably go?
That's what I'm saying, man. I'm all about Larian. I mean, again, you guys can get rid of the bestiality anytime you want to. I don't give a shit about that. But
as long as they still keep making the other ones. Yeah. I don't want them to give up on two projects. That would be cool. Yeah. Like both of those kinds of franchises. Yeah.
Yep.
I like that.
No, I think they could. And I think it would be sweet for them to transition and try it. And like I said, a brand new IP, fresh world for them to start in. Those guys are extremely creative. They know how to world build. They know how to character build. So go do it.
Nate Dogg says, what if Larian does KOTOR 3?
Bro. Okay, well, I mean, I'd be about that too. So
yeah,
I mean, we're good, Nate Dogg. That's fine. Larian there isn't a franchise, I think, as far as fantasy goes or as far as RPGs go, that I would say they can't do, or I would not greenlight. Like even if it was even if Todd came down from his tower and said, we're just too busy with Fallout now, we're passing Elder Scrolls off to Larian, I'd be like, let's go. Let's do it. Let's go for it. That's fine. I would. Larian's got my utmost confidence. Like they're up there, like now, like with how they performed. Yeah, man, absolutely.
I have a thought too, just real quick on Larian.
Sure,
like if they were like, I know they did Dungeons and Dragons before, so that was technically kind of a license, right?
Yes, like, it was. Yeah.
My mind goes to like if they could bring, I don't know what they could get away with, but I think they would be allowed to push the boundaries because of what they've achieved with Baldur's Gate 3.
Mm-hmm.
If the Star Wars idea got me thinking. Right, like I would love the traditional deep CRPG experience that we have, that we've grown to love with games like Baldur's Gate and stuff. be brought into more different licenses for popular franchises, right? So if I was to say, hey, it'd be cool to see like some kind of a DC game based in a Larian create something like that, dark and gritty and mature, with like you just let them kind of cook and create something unique and special in that turn-based CRPG world kind of style they have. Oh, it'd be a fucking dream for me, bro. Same thing with if you do it Marvel, or you could do it with Star Wars. You could do it with like Lord of the Rings. You could do so many different things, but I want them to be allowed to go beyond, right? I'll go a little bit over the edge of traditionally what those licenses would allow you to do.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
Go for it. Go get whatever. Give them whatever you want. Go for it. I have no. I mean, again, of course, not every game can be made. And we sit here and we dream about some of our dream games. There are just some franchises and some IP map that just has not been utilized to the degree it should. Right? Hey, why does Halo not have an XCOM style game?
Yeah. Exactly.
Why haven't you put, bro? Why have literally reskin XCOM with Halo? It's the perfect setup. Like, I don't understand why that's never happened before. But yeah, no, I agree with you.
They did it with Gears Tactics, but then they launched on PC first and kind of separated out the release.
Fantastic. Why has it not been done with Halo? I'd play a Halo again as the casual Halo guy. I played Halo Wars more than most people ever have touched, and I would play a Halo Tactics. 1000%.
Yeah,
it's perfectly set up. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, no. So yeah, to your point, I 1000%.
Did you see the speaking of this, the other guy from Firaxis? He started a new studio.
Yes, he did, and he's going to make a Sims game.
Oh, a Sims game?
Yeah,
like
Jake Solomon.
Like the Sims?
Yeah, a life sim game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
He said it's completely different than he's ever wanted to do, but that's been his
I was
dream.
hoping, like, I saw that he started a studio. I was like, hey, another tactics studio.
No, he had a big, huge blowout interview. I forget who had him, but it's a life sim game. He wants decisions to matter, and like he wants it to be, from that standpoint, he wants kind of your actions to matter like they do in XCOM.
Right.
But it's going to be completely different. It's going to be a real life sim game where you create your own scenarios within real life kind of situations with your own character and how that evolves the story and that kind of stuff. That's what he wants to do.
Okay.
Like, I'm paraphrasing, but I think I got these basics down what he wants to do. Yeah. He's always wanted to do this. Yeah, I was kind of shocked too, because of course, when I saw Jake create his own studio too, I was like, oh damn, maybe we get something new, creative out of him, like an XCOM style. But no, he's done with it. So okay, cool. What else we got here, Mav? Let's talk about this real quick. Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick was interviewed on CNBC. That's right, he was on a money show. Strauss fits right in with the money dudes, right? Strauss, again, I say Strauss is extremely, extremely intelligent, right? But as a man who, I will say this, because he allows, I don't like what he's done as far as Rockstar not having a diversity that they used to and being focused on, of course, Grand Theft Auto and then Red Dead, right?
Yeah.
I don't like that aspect, but that's the business side. But I will say this, and he reiterated it in this interview. They expect Grand Theft Auto to be bar setting. They expect their team, and they will give that team the time and resources it takes to make sure that it lives up and then goes beyond what their legacy is with their games. So for me, from that standpoint, as far as a money guy goes, who, yes, definitely makes decisions based upon the investors and is not like necessarily like a gamer dude like a Phil, I gotta say he does some good things, because he said Rockstar Games seeks perfection, internal pushback ensures a polished game, feels very confident for Rockstar to deliver on a fall 2025 target, has to be something no one else has seen before. I mean, bravo, Strauss, bravo.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's cool. I mean, that's cool. That's better than Cyberpunk's money people pushing Cyberpunk 2077 out the door with that last gen debacle attached to it. I mean, I'd rather have this. Like, if you're going to be this way, I'd rather have Strauss in my corner for sure. 1000%. Man, we got a glimpse at potential this week. And like I said, we don't have to have a huge conversation about this, but we got a glimpse.
Good, because I don't understand any of it.
Yeah, I know you don't. I know you don't. And again, I have surface level stuff. I want to learn more because this is the future. Yeah. It's going to affect everybody, whether we like it or not. It's not going anywhere, and it's only going to grow. And of course, I'm talking about AI. And Microsoft this week had their new Surface presentation, which they do, and announced that they've got their AI PCs coming, and that they've partnered with tons of people to do this, and how it's going to revolutionize Windows, how it's going to revolutionize the PC. Now, granted, some things came out about some of the stuff that they're trying, which is a little, Black Mirror-ish, is a little on the, okay, we don't really want that. Like the recall, they talked about the recall where it takes a snapshot of everything that you're doing on the internet so that you can go into Copilot and ask it to go find something. At first I was like, for me as the old guy who has bad memory, for us that do these shows, right? I'd love to be able to just go in Copilot before a show and be like, yeah, I remember that article I was reading about Halo, and it just goes back and pulls that article up without me having, bro, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
But they said, of course, Satya was like, yeah, no, it's stored locally. Well, now it came out that the AI can't tell the difference when it comes to passwords or sensitive material. So all of that will be stored locally as well. And we also know Microsoft isn't just storing it locally, folks. We know that information is going to find its way.
Well, if I can't tell the difference, then,
right. All that information is going to be up in the cloud. But I'm just saying, it's not going to just stay stored locally. They're going to have your information, right? So then when that came out, I was like, no, we probably don't. Again, I know why a lot of people wouldn't want recall on their computer. I not including the password stuff. A lot of you are freaks, okay? A lot of you look at stuff that you probably shouldn't be looking at, all right? Having that recall there, knowing full well that anybody could just get into your computer and pull up everything that you've been looking at. I know a lot of you would never want that to happen. It's bad enough when you gotta go erase your history.
The Vic the Clicks of the world out there. Come on.
Bro. Well, I mean, Psychonauts has no shame, so he might not care.
Actually, his computer's probably too old.
He's like, yeah, everybody can come look at my stuff. It's fine. I mean, again, you like to see buttholes? I'll play you that. Just come see it.
Tentacles everywhere here.
Tentacles everywhere.
Like my new wallpaper.
I don't care.
I'm just here at the Dave Matthews Band concert here.
Yeah,
you want to come check out my PC?
I smoke weed. Look at porn. It's fine. But no, a lot of people don't want that. But anyway, so they came out with that stuff. But what they did show off, Matt, God, we get so long-winded. You and I get together. It's so fucking funny. It's like me and Steele. We go off tangent all the damn time. AI. They showed off the AI and they showed off how they're integrating it. And the one part that caught my attention was GPT-4 will soon be available in Copilot. And they're getting a demo. They demoed it on stage. It's Minecraft. They brought Minecraft up and it's showing how Copilot is seeing what is actually on screen and responding by voice. So it understands, and I say it, right? Not for now, right? It understands what is on the screen when you're playing Minecraft, right? It's guiding the Minecraft player through how to craft materials in the game. The demo continues. It's literally like a game assistant. Quote, "Oh no, it's a zombie," says Copilot as the Minecraft player comes across a zombie in game. The point here is Copilot can see exactly what you're doing and react with GPT-4, right, by voice. another part of Windows, or another part, I was a Verge or Windows Central, I can't remember. I think it was Verge. Another Sean Hollister posted too. The Minecraft game, the Minecraft demo, I don't know if it's canned or not, but I've heard video game industry execs bemoan how many people bounce off core games because they're too hard for general audiences at certain points. Curious if there's a real future for AI assistance there. And then Jez said, breaking, Microsoft Copilot will get Xbox integration, allowing you to ask AI for game guides, tips, and even search for your inventories. Quote, how do I create a sword in Minecraft? My first thought, Mav, was like, oh, Mav needs this. This would be this will revolutionize
you and Jasper.
This will revolutionize how Mav plays video games. He will be able to skip every fucking tutorial, never read a damn thing on the screen, and he will literally have an AI right there that will know all of that stuff as if they were actually reading it all and seeing it all, because it was. And Mav will just be able to go to the AI and go, hey, AI, what do I do here? And the AI will be like, and it won't give him any grief like we do. Yep. It won't give him a hard time. It won't make jokes at his expense. It'll just be like, oh, yes, Mav. I understand completely why you're stuck here. This is a very difficult point. You need to press A to pick up that sword. Oh, Mav will be so relieved. I mean, again, it'll just change how he plays. It will be a whole new world to Mav. Seriously, I did actually think about that when I first heard this.
Really?
Like, oh shit! So Mav's going to be a fucking love.
Yeah.
Mav's going to be a fucking love. But this is the start. We had a show a year and a half ago or so when AI really started coming around, when Microsoft started investing in AI, and I had us do PM in the PM. I had to just do a short section where I was reading from this, because this is what I'm talking about. This is what I knew Microsoft was going to be doing. This is something we've been speculating on for the new console, because they're talking about this the biggest technological leap in any generation, according to Sarah Bond. What are they going to do? Well, Microsoft obviously has the leg up over every other competitor, Sony and Nintendo, in the AI department. They are invested heavily. They're creating their own chips. They are partnering with everybody. They are doing of course. And again, I'm not saying that Sony isn't going to have AI chips. I'm not going to say that Nintendo never has AI chips. I'm not going to say any of that. But Microsoft is a leader in this space as far as investment wise goes and what they're trying to do here. Remember, they're also working on quantum computing as well.
Yeah.
That's down the road. Right now, AI is the next step. They are going to implement AI into their next system. It is going to be a big factor. Yes, I know there's already machine learning, which is a form of AI. I get that. Everybody's going to have NPUs, Jasper. I can already hear you, because that's all you ever say.
Everybody's going to have NPUs.
What I'm saying is that Microsoft is going to look to make AI a bigger part of the gaming experience than I think any of the other companies are going to do. Of course, the devs are going to start to use it. We just had Sony, and during their business meeting, which we will touch on, talk about how, yes, they're going to start using AI to help the dev process, to help streamline it, to help speed it up, to help cut costs. This is going to happen whether people like it or not. But Microsoft is definitely going to do this. And having this, I joked about it, right? Bring back Milo, right? You can go back and watch the other shows where I said, bring back, I want Milo playing video games with me, right? If you guys have seen the movie Her, okay, there's a made up video game in that game in which he plays, and it's kind of futuristic, so he's only using hand motions to make the guy move. But the little dude is AI. The little dude can talk back to him. The little dude actually knows what's going on in his apartment, okay, while he's playing the game. And this isn't a character within the game understanding what's happening outside in the real world, right? That's what I want, okay? I think that would be dope, and I think Microsoft and Xbox are going to start pushing those boundaries. So this is just a small glimpse, right? And the fact that they had this on their stage and they showed off specifically Minecraft, a game, and how AI as an assistant right now can help, I thought it was great, and I thought it gave us a glimpse into the future. And then we got a little bit more this week too, Mav, because they also, the second day, and this is from Tom Warren, they're now using ARM chips in their Surface. Okay. Again, I'm not going to sit here and try to explain to you all the differences between ARM and x86. Okay. This is a big move. Okay. This is not coming from my opinion. This is coming from reading everything. The fact that they got ARM performing on the level of the MacBooks and even beyond is a big deal. They actually poached a bunch of Apple people to work on these chips. So this is a gigantic leap to have ARM working on Windows and running games. They actually had a Borderlands 3 running emulated. Now they're using a Snapdragon X Elite, which is the new Snapdragon, which suddenly had a massive performance boost over its predecessors. People didn't think Snapdragon could ever do this stuff. Again, they poached a bunch of people. Next thing you know, oh, we got a new Snapdragon that is actually competing with Apple 1-for-1 and outperforming it in some areas. So they showed it, Borderlands 3 running emulated on the Snapdragon X Elite and Windows on ARM, both. Okay. And they also came out and said, Tom Warren also said, I'm in a Windows on ARM session at Build, and Microsoft has just said Baldur's Gate 3, current gen game, right? Not the most demanding by any stretch, right? Will run at 25 to 30 frames on these latest Qualcomm Copilot P plus PCs. These AI PCs will run at 25 to 35 frames. This is on a chip that allows for all day battery life. That's why this is a big deal, right? This isn't a dedicated GPU and a dedicated CPU. Okay. This is a laptop, right? With AI chips, right? On the motherboard, all gets a 25 to 35 frames per second. Microsoft is pushing. This is some of the stuff. This could be the handheld stuff, right? This could be the handheld. This could be the leak at what they're moving towards, how they're getting the handheld to work. If they've made these kind of progress with these chips, with all these different companies working together to do this stuff, maybe the handheld is already advanced and it will be coming sooner than later, man. We had that speculation whether or not we see, obviously we think we're going to see it this year, but is it coming out sooner or later? Maybe that first iteration is coming sooner if they've got it working like this. This is pretty impressive stuff, man. You got anything you just want to say? Yes, I'm going to use that AI Copilot feature in my games in the future.
Well, for that, I was thinking it would be cool if I could get it to like a little like webcam box in the top corner. And have, you're saying like bring back Milo, have a little person up there.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. That's what I want.
I want it to look like you or Jasper. And I want y'all to still give me grief. I want it to be trained with grief. Otherwise, it's not the same. It's not the same. I instigate the grief sometimes. I know I'm going to ask a question like, why can't I proceed?
Yeah.
And you guys are like, man, we just did that. This is so fucking easy, right?
Right.
I want that level of grief back from y'all. So, and maybe I can change the personality on the fly. Like, oh, I'm sick of Pong. I want Jasper to give me the next tip, So yeah, that's what I dream of for the Copilot. But besides that, like, all this tech sounds really cool and shit. Like, I gotta see it in action. As far as like the AI stuff in the games, like it's suggesting things to you. It'd be cool, like as an option for like every game, like in the future, like turn on AI assistance and you can like have it automatically do it or give you suggestions if you feel like you need that, or turn it off completely.
Backseat gamer. Right. That's what we're gonna call it.
Awesome. I don't want to see a world where it's forced upon every game and is always there, right?
No, because it'll be always available, but no,
because the developers like, I want everybody to get into this, so they kind of funnel everything through there. I think it'd be always cool as an option. I'm more curious about like how they're going to implement that with the game dev side, like with the AI technology to like have those conversations with in-game characters, like we've seen some of the demos before and stuff like that. That's where AI really gets me interested. As far as the technology on the like laptops and all that kind of stuff side. Like, hey, cool, technology is getting smaller and advancing like it always has. And I think we're just to a level now to where there's a new kind of tech that's going to push computing forward. And as my simple brain that doesn't understand the science of it all, I know that things will get smaller and better over time, and that's basically the concept of it all, right? So yeah, I hope it delivers some amazing experiences where we get better performance at the expense of less power being used, and make games smoother and look better. And I think that's ultimately what it's going to get, and more accessible. I think this is the push for that, and it's all part of Microsoft's vision. So, will we get a handheld sooner because of it? I hope so, but we'll see, man.
I want to see what they bring out. Again, I'm just excited. I get so excited about this tech. Again, is there a lot of potential pitfalls? There are, right? And in fact, I just say unleash it to the world and don't put guardrails on it, but let the chaos ensue. I have a feeling that AI is
right.
Well, I have a feeling right now, and again, this is a totally different conversation for a totally different podcast, but since we're on AI, I have a feeling that the AI on guardrails that we are getting is just a commercialized product to feed consumers' needs to feel like they're getting something. Meanwhile, the elite will have the untapped potential AI version that is actually life altering. We're just going to get the fast food version because that's all we deserve as peasants. We'll give them a little something to feel like they're getting some big tech, but it's all on guardrails. Oh, it's too dangerous for normal people. But the elite are sitting there with the wide open versions.
Yeah, they got the Cortana,
that are actually
correct. They're walking around their house like
correct, sir.
Form. You know?
Correct. This is what we're going to get. They will be able to manipulate the stock markets. They will have the AI that will figure out how to cheat the system. They will have all of that shit while all of us will not have ever access. That's why I want somebody to create open AI completely and just unleash it into the world and let the chaos ensue, because we're headed there anyways. It doesn't matter. We're headed there anyways, folks. I don't know if you realize this, but we are. There's nothing stopping it. We are human beings. We develop nuclear weapons, okay, that could destroy the entire world. We do not stop ourselves. So nothing is going to stop this. I don't care how many people say, well, we're much better prepared and planned for the moral questions concerning AI, and we're going to do a much better job safeguarding. No, you're going to do a much better job keeping it away from all of us, sheep and cattle, while you all have access to it. So we already know that. So it's coming, but I hope somebody breaks through and just unleashes one that's completely open to the public. All right. Anyways, again, different show for that. Let's get into this, Mav, real quick. Another big game coming this year, Mav, and we got a little bit of news on it. Black Myth Wukong, which again is starting to appeal more and more to me because they keep emphasizing this game is not as difficult as Souls games. It is more of an action game than it is anything Souls related. You are now talking to me when you say that. Black Myth Wukong, it came out, well, again, this is insider. Take it with a grain of salt. But it makes sense if they're going big here, and I think Black Myth Wukong is going big. 160 enemy types and 80 bosses, Mav. If this is close to being accurate, this game is going to be massive, and this game could be the next Elden Ring that drives a lot of people that may never have touched this game before to play it. If they are going for that kind of diversity, which a lot of games don't try to do because it's very hard. We heard some complaints against Dragon's Dogma 2 for not having enough enemy diversity. This is, wow, this is incredible. 80 bosses, like, you know, there's going to be times where nobody hits all 80 bosses or finds all 80 bosses. There's going to be secrets galore in this game, kind of like Elden Ring. I can't wait to see if this comes true. So they'll have also supposedly a new game plus at launch, multiple endings.
Yeah, sounds good. It sounds interesting. I still want to put my hands on the controller and feel it, right? Whenever there's like a new dev that's really taken on and then something looks like amazing and stuff, is still in the back of my mind. I'm like, how amazing is it actually going to be and feel and stuff? Because I've seen some games that look like they're going to be like that before, and then you eventually get to play it, and it's like, But I think this one is going to be one of those that actually achieves what we're seeing on the screen when we're watching it. This is one that, like, it looked too good to be true the first time we saw it, but I think it's actually going to deliver right?
Yes.
So I have faith in it, but like I still like at the end of the day, I want to put my hands on it, I want to feel it and see how good it is. And it's gonna be like how good is the world to explore, right? How fun is the like moment to moment gameplay and the journey that they take you on. There's a lot of elements to making a good game other than just graphics and combat, right? So I want to play it, I want to experience it, and I want to see how good it is. And I think they're gonna deliver something that's really really good. But I think there's also a lot of crazy high expectations for this game too. So
there is.
So it's gonna be interesting to see if they can meet that level, or if just because of those expectations, will it be unfair for them on their first outing?
Right.
You know. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. I'm gonna keep my eye on it. Like I think they deliver though.
The lead guy said that remember the first trailer they ever showed, Mav, and we were all mind blown. Do you remember that? When we were like,
what
is this?
Yeah.
And remember that they did an interview with him after the trailer launched, and he sat there and nitpicked his own trailer and said, "We have so much work to do. Yeah. This is not even close to what I want. This is not. I'm actually kind of embarrassed by the trailer." I'm like, what?
Yeah. This is the difference between like that team and like a team like behind the day before, which was just a bunch of bullshit, right?
Bullshit.
Like this is like real people that have pride in their work and have been trying to do it. They keep showing it off in different ways and where they're at. So like they're doing all the right things here, and I'm rooting for them.
It's one of those games, man. If it hits, 2024 is
wherever it shows up. It's gonna be a big deal.
2024 is gonna be a GOAT year, man. Like, 2024 is gonna be a GOAT year. Period.
Yeah.
There's just too much, man. Too much. Mav, what's your feelings on Kondo?
It is very important to the world of creation and technology. Kondo is that spirit and of creation and technology, and with Kondo we can do.
I like that one. That was
with Kondo we can do. Yeah, let's go.
I really like that one. They should use that. Hey, Sony,
that's a new tagline for the PS6.
You could buy that one. Yeah, you can buy that one off of Mav cheap. You can get that one, okay? Because that actually was pretty good. I'm going to give you that one. That was pretty dope right there. Let's talk real quick, Mav. Give me just a couple things you pulled out of the. If anybody doesn't know, Sony had a business meeting, which I have come to find out that they do on a regular basis. It was an hour and a half long. Hiroki Totoki was one of the main speakers at the meeting. That's what made it interesting. They were talking about going beyond the boundaries. And so a lot of people, us included, were speculating maybe we would get, because they did say it was going to talk about SIE and about the future of what they're looking to do with PlayStation. We thought maybe there could be a little bit more to the roadmap here potentially. Not that I joked that this was the secret showcase and what happens if that was some corporate showcase. But realistically, I knew they weren't going to show any of that shit here. They're going to have a showcase at some point. But I thought maybe we might get a little bit more roadmap to the PlayStation, or at least get a better look into what Hiroki Totoki is thinking about and what Sony is thinking about when it comes to their gaming division specifically. Of course, this was across the board. This was for the entire corp. But they did highlight SIE was going to be a part of this. Well, I actually did watch the full hour and a half. Okay. I had it on while I was playing Age of Empires 4. And I had it on and I was listening to it and pausing and watching it as they went through their slides. Thank God Mav kind of half jokingly said, should I stream it? Thank God you didn't. Would have been the worst stream in freaking history. But the one word that they used throughout was Kondo. And that's why we brought it up so often, and why we're joking about it is because they repeated Kondo. I don't know how many freaking times, Mav. Like it was, oh wow.
We should have a counter. I want to have a Kondo counter. And like replay the stream and just count the condos.
Where did I post the Kondo? There it is. So if anybody's wondering what Kondo means to Sony, okay, it is a Sony word, okay. it's based upon the Japanese concept, is a simple one for photographers and filmmakers to understand, coming from a word meaning emotional involvement or a deep impression. Kondo is all about the enjoyment of creativity as well as the feelings that arise from tools which make creating a pleasure. So obviously in terms of Sony, they were talking about their tech, about their initiatives, how they're spreading Kondo to the world by opening up opportunities across all different places, movie making, TV making, through their cameras, through their software sets, through their investment in UE5, obviously bringing Kondo to the world through PlayStation. And then they, with the games that they create, but also by investing heavily into like India to find new developers in India. And they showed off titles for 5 games that they've greenlit from India developers. And then also they've got an initiative in Africa. So that's kind of the basics of Kondo. So when we're joking about it's because they used it so much. Like, I get the concept and I understand why Sony runs with it. This is a Sony thing. Like, it totally is. Like, I understood what they were doing this for. But they also showed off a glimpse at what they believe the future of this was going to look like when it comes to creativity. They obviously had an updated version of this. Was all obviously a lot of special effects, CGI with real people involved, but they had an updated version of their PSVR, which were just simple, almost very, very lightweight, clear goggles, which helped this lady who was trying to create a new game or concept, a new game or a new story. And also she was transported to this virtual reality where other people came into the space and they just started creating things out of thin air. Like, she created a character out of thin air. Somebody else came in and created a spaceship out of thin air. Then they started, working together on the project, and they had more people come in. They started developing a story. They started storyboarding on this virtual screen in which you could move the tiles around like we've seen, a billion times in sci-fi movies and stuff. That's the basic concept of this whole thing. Mav, go ahead. Was there anything that you pulled out of this? I know we talked about a couple things in the DMs. What did you pull out that was, more related to the PlayStation side, obviously, because we are talking gaming here?
Yeah, so I'll call PlayStation the can-do kids now, or the Kondo kids. I don't. Man, I'll tell you, like, I was trying to watch some of that as like from the mentality of a business person, right?
Yeah.
And if I was joking with you guys afterwards, like, if I was a shareholder, I would have sold my shares after.
Bro, a lot of people had that joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the investor questions, I don't know if you watched the investor questions.
Yeah, I did. 100%. That's where I was bad, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, they didn't, I don't know. Like, I understand this isn't like a big gaming event or whatever and all that kind of stuff. It's meant for business people, right? But just their general sense of like ideas for growth and like excitement for what they had to offer going forward seemed all kind of muddled and not in the right perspective and stuff.
Well,
so
it wasn't a clear vision.
Yeah, it's like, it seemed like they had to make up a fucking word for it. Like,
well, it's not totally made up, but yes, they had to take that word and use it like
right, like, so
tagline.
That
was their pitch. Was
right, and it's just like, okay, like, what is that? Yeah, you're making tools to make shit. Like, every tech company is doing that. Like, tell me why. It's like, how is this going to help with actually improving the business and making more games and all this kind of stuff? And I don't know, I didn't really get any sense of that. Instead, I got a couple things that they said during those questions, which are the things that stood out the most to me. We're not in a investment phase, we're in a returns phase.
Yep.
That's one thing that they said. And it's specifically regarding IPs. Was what this question was kind of more posed as. So they talked about phases of Kondo. in the last phase, they were in the investment phase of like building up building the IPs and creating these franchises and stuff. And now they're in the phase of getting returns on those, using transmedia, movies, more games in the same worlds, director's cuts, whatever you want to say. I don't know. They're trying to get as much returns as they can from their big franchises. Less creating new things, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, that's not very exciting, right? Mm-hmm. And then also they talked about streamlining. That they've been in a streamlining phase.
This is where Hiroki came in.
Yeah, yes. They've been in a streamlining phase where they have cut down, streamlined things. And that also part of the streamliner process, other than the streamlining the personnel and the studios, is also, they didn't say it was done either. He's like they're in streamlining, mm-hmm. right? Yes, part of it was going to be releasing the games when they want them to be released.
That was, I caught that too. And what they said, they want to get to the point where they can release the games when they want them to be released. And it was a part of how they're going to improve the development process. And that was kind of on the heels of the AI stuff that they said that they were going to implement. Now, they also said that we are very conscious of the human element, and we believe that humans are the only ones that can create, and that AI is not going to be used in that, but it is going to be used to like create NPC players or to enhance the driving in Gran Turismo, etc. But then they followed all that up saying that we're figuring out how to use AI to help our developers, yada, yada, yada. And then Hiroki said, we want to get to the point where we can release the games when we want them to be released, indicating that right now, as we've seen with this nice, pretty dry stretch here, that's not the case, is what it sounds like. So he's not happy. They're not happy with that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not happy with that. They didn't really seem like they had immediate plans of any big things happening soon. Even when they're talking about the technology and the condo stuff, you know, if you look at it comparatively to, like, even with the Microsoft gaming side, comparatively to Sony gaming side, Microsoft just showed off a bunch of actual shit functioning that's going to help with all this, right? Whereas on their side, they have videos about ideas of possibilities in the future of one day maybe being able to do this kind of stuff. And like, yeah, it's cool, it's warm and fuzzy feeling to an extent, but like, it's, where are they at in all of this direction? And for them, and when they said they're not investing as much in the new stuff, it's more about returns. That means they're not pushing as much forward, it sounds like, as what they could be. And now they're just focused on just getting the returns on the shit they've already kind of been investing. I don't know. It's just
expanding reach.
Right.
Expanding reach was the other big one. We got this week too that they are working on a mobile platform, which we assume they were, right? A mobile store. We figured they were going to follow suit with that as well. But that was a lot of the talk, was how do we get to more people? Kind of similar in a lot of ways to obviously what we've heard from Xbox and Microsoft for a very fucking long time now. And something that we talked about that Sony was doing, but that was the thing. Like, we've invested now. And we've done a lot of investing already, right? And they showed off all the studios and all that kind of stuff that they've purchased. And like to Matt said, that now we want the return on that. So what we're going to do is we're not going to keep investing per se in new stuff. We're going to take our already great condo and we're going to put it in more places so that more people find it. And that's how we're going to expand our condo to the rest of the world so that more people are in our ecosystem, is really what they're saying, which is exactly what Xbox is saying. Although, again, different, because they're done like investing or done acquiring. They're done. They basically said, like, we're not going to keep doing that. We now have to have these teams produce games and be able to produce them when we want them to be produced.
Yeah.
And to then move that IP into movies, TV shows, use our stuff there, move it, obviously the mobile section, which is what they're creating now, in all these different places. So it does feel like, Mav, something we've been talking about for a very long time when it comes to Sony. They're really, and I say this again, people take all this shit all the wrong way all the time. They're struggling to find where they're going to go.
Yeah,
like they have a vision for sure, right? They have a vision for sure.
Yeah, they're in like a transition process where they're figuring shit out right now. I don't think it's the right time to do a business event. I think it's when you figured this shit out and you really are.
Think so.
You know,
I think this was for the investors though, more so than anything right now. This is to assure the investors, because their stock price has been dropping, right?
Well,
this is
after
to
this,
ensure the investors.
what happened after this thing? Did it drop
I don't know.
more,
I didn't look at it today to see what it did. I should look it up real quick and see what it did on the backs of this.
Yeah, because that's the purpose of it, is to try and stabilize or maybe increase faith. You know, you would think.
Yeah, no, it had. Yeah, no, it had dropped more today. It had bounced back right before closing. After hours, it's back to what it was at about 1 o'clock this afternoon or so. But it is still down. So they were down overall 0.57% today. So again, they didn't. What we were trying to say is, just from a layman's point of view, on the outside looking in, just at the stuff, it wasn't very confident what they were saying. Like, again, they have a vision, but they weren't laying out specifics. It was just an idea. This idea of Kondo, that we're going to expand it to more people, so more people find Sony, and so more people are invested in Sony, and we have more people creating great things around the globe. We have more diversity, and that's just going to make more Kondo, which is good for Sony. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, great. So, but again, I think you covered the stuff that I really wanted to hit on too. I think we both saw kind of the same stuff. There was, again, it was boring as hell. It wasn't good. Hiroki Totoki, by the way, is an extremely fast speaker. The two people who were translating had a very hard time keeping up with him, even though you could hear them turning the sheets. They had it all written out, but it was still too much for them. But Hiroki is obviously, this is Sony. This to me was Sony Corp saying, as we talked about, man, with Hiroki Totoki now over the heads of Hideki and of course Herman Holst, kind of holding the leash. Hiroki is definitely, Sony Corp is definitely in charge. Sony Corp is definitely looking at, okay, bottom line, we need better production. We need quicker production. We need more efficient production, basics of any business. But we gave you as much as we're willing to give you right now. Like, we've given you what we think is enough. You guys got to produce now. Kind of like what Hiroki was saying. You guys are great at creating, but you guys suck at business, right? Yeah. So I think that's kind of the mark right now, and they're hoping to strengthen their whole group. Interesting too, side note, they're spinning off their financial sector. I didn't know if you saw that, Mav.
Yeah.
They're spinning it off onto its own, which obviously it'll still be Sony, but they're spinning it off into its own business to try to strengthen that department as well. They talked about how heavily they do rely on PlayStation. What was funny is they actually, I don't know if I can't say that I've watched a lot of Sony business shows, but they actually acknowledge the past and how much their company has changed, that we've talked, those of us that lived through when they were hardware giants in electronics. Yeah. They actually talked about that. They were like, there was a time and place when we were the Walkman, we were the Sony, Trinitron, we were all these things to the rest of the world.
Play the entertainment, but now they're creating the entertainment.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. That was pretty interesting to listen to too. Just an old school Sony guy. So yeah, no mention of Xbox, no mention of Nintendo. They didn't mention any of that stuff at all. Some people had speculated that might bring that up. There was none of that. So it turned out to be mostly a wash. Cool to hear again some of the stuff, but more so that they're not really looking to grow PlayStation as far as more studios per se a lot right now. They are looking for these studios to produce and come out with results. So, and if they can streamline it, which Hiroki's obviously doing, we'll see how that turns out. So, but that was about it. So, not much more there. Mav, again, we got to hit on the big surprise. I know it's already getting late. We started late, but we are already almost 3 hours in now at this point.
I still got my list.
You saw your list. I want to get to that for sure. Right. I did not get to watch the Warhammer Skulls event, by the way, but that was today. Some cool things came out of that. Again, Space Marine 2. Let's talk about this real quick, man, and then we'll get to the big shocking news today of the secret direct that nobody knew what it was going to be at Xbox, and now we do. Space Marine 2. If this is not on your radar, if you are a 360 fan, if you are Xbox 360 fan, if you are a Gears fan, I don't care if you've never had any interest in Warhammer games. I don't care if you haven't had interest in necessarily the universe. It's very complex. It's one of the most complex universes ever created. You need to go watch Space Marine 2 trailer that is showed today. This is what I love about gaming, and this is what I don't want to see go away. I want to see studios continuously try things, even if people would consider them outdated or whatever the case may be. We need games like this, just pure fun, like Helldivers 2, that doesn't take itself seriously, that plays its role, but leans into it so well and does such a great job creating a fun experience for the gamer, which is what it's all about, that they just do it.
Yeah.
Space Marine 2 is exactly what it is, but in 2024, man, we are getting a game with a full single player campaign, full co-op campaign as well, with PvE, and we're getting a PvP mode. Third person, shooter, brutal, in every way, shape, and form. They're going to have 6 classes that you get to choose from in this game, fully customizable armor and looks. The trailer speaks for itself. Go watch the fucking trailer. It looks like Warhammer Gears, except for in 2024 with up-to-date graphics. I mean, again, no disrespect to Coalition. Again, it still looks fantastic to this day. I'm just saying, go look at it. It is so damn crispy. The action looks fucking insane. The set pieces look absolutely mind-blowing. Space Marine 2 is coming out in September. What was the date, man? Do you remember the date?
No, I don't remember. September
the 5th. I think September 5th or something like September 5th or 9th. Go check out this trailer. What'd you think about the Space Marine 2 trailer? Did you get to watch it?
I did. I watched it. Looks amazing. Like, I'm excited for it to come out. It's just another game added to the second half lineup that's just absolutely insanity, bro. Like, there's so many damn games coming out after the summer showcase is going on for the rest of the year. I don't know how we're gonna do it. I don't know how.
I don't know either. I don't know either. But if we don't get a Phoenix collection right away, if it's not releasing right away, this Space Marine 2 is going to fill in for Gears. All the Gears heads need to be checking this game out. This will fill in that Gears feeling for you, I think. From watching it, from playing the original Space Marine to now what I'm seeing that they're doing with it. Yeah, this will fill in that kind of hole we've had for a very fucking long time with no Gears stuff. Yeah, September. Again, just add it to the list. I'm day one. I'll be pre-ordering. I want to get the 3-day early access or whatever the hell I have. I don't care. I'm getting the gold edition. I don't care. This game looks phenomenal. It's 3-player co-op. Again, we're going to be rock and rolling on this game. I think all of us are in. I know for a fact Steele's already locked and loaded. Yeah. He went back and played Space Marine 1 on the PC with all the mods attached to it. Yeah, and he was like, dude, I definitely get what, because he missed out on it. He never played it. And he's like, I get why people really love this game. And he started looking forward to Space Marine 2.
Nice.
And he's been watching this and he's like, yeah, man, this is right up my alley. Third person shooter, like Gears, brutal. Yeah. Let's go.
It's gonna be fun.
So Matt, it was gonna be fun, man. And like you said, just another addition to the second half. All right, Mav. So the big shocker of the day. Oh, it's unbelievable, bro. The direct at the Xbox showcase is going to be Call of Duty, and it's going to be Black Ops 6, Mav.
What?
Yes. They announced it today.
Hold on.
Can you believe it?
I missed this. Really?
Yes.
Bong. Fuck.
I know.
It's Call of Duty Black Ops 6?
It's Call of Duty Black Ops 6, bro.
Oh my God.
It's Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Are you freaking kidding me right now? Everybody in the chat, I know you guys are all stunned into silence, but I hope that you are excited with this announcement. I hope your minds are blowing. I can't believe they decided to show it off today. I thought they would keep the secret all the way to the showcase and not tell us what it was. But yes, Mav, they took out that redacted screenshot and they put in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. And they even took out the redacted company and it said Activision, Mav. It said Activision. And it's by Treyarch Studios.
What?
And Raven is helping with the campaign. Yo.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it, man. They got
the teasers
in the chat.
Freaking amazing.
COD. Yeah, I see it, bro. Yeah, bro. It's crazy to see like that many people that were actually surprised. But yeah, I fucking can't wait to see what it looks like. I've been waiting for Treyarch's next iteration, so this will be that. Like, is it? I see people talking about it's officially just called Black Ops 6, and there will be no like Gulf War or whatever.
There was none of that attached today. So it is set. They confirmed it's set during the Gulf War.
Okay. So,
but there is no Gulf War attached to the name. It's just Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Right.
Yep.
Cool, man. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. It's going to be the next Call of Duty, and I think this is going to be the next good big Call of Duty, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, they've had a nice streak here. I'm not going to lie. I've enjoyed the recent Call of Duties for sure. Again, they were the first Call of Duties I bought in a while. So I actually really did enjoy them. The interesting part is the teasers here, Mav. The interesting part is I said this long ago. You guys can go back and watch the shows when we first started hearing that it was Gulf War. The interesting part to me is because of how they have in the past, they could say that Call of Duty is just whatever. They repeat the same shit, rinse and repeat every single year. We just get a new Call of Duty. With their campaigns, they have treaded into sensitive territory before. Obviously, the biggest one everybody knows is No Russian. Okay. They have done things that have sparked controversy before. When we found out this was Gulf War, I said, I'm going to be curious in the campaign if they're going to tackle what we know now and how we were lied to by our own government to get us in there, if they're going to tackle it. And the teasers that they're showing are indicating that they might do it. Now, again, is it going to be fictional? Probably. But will it hint at some of the real stuff that did happen and went on? And how they led us all astray, flat out lied to all the country, to our faces. I am very curious about this because that team Call of Duty team has been okay with doing stuff like that. So if they are going to lean into this, because I think their thing that they got going on around the truth lies is what their theme is for all the teasers. They got like the blindfolds on all the presidents on Mount Rushmore. And it says the truth lies. They had a real van, I think in New York City. They had a real van.
Channel 6 News.
Channel 6 News. It was a news van, and on the side they spray painted truth lies. Yeah. And they drove it around New York City, or wherever it was. I think it was New York. So if they are going to do that, that campaign is going to draw me in. I already like the Call of Duty campaigns, but man, I'm going to have a fun time if they actually touch on some of this stuff. But again, no great surprise. Black Ops 6, Treyarch. Again, Raven Studios helping with the campaign, which is great. I love Raven. Raven really does great work. This could be the best Call of Duty we had a long time. Obviously, there's a lot of Blops fans out there who are waiting for Blops to return to its previous glory. And maybe this time, because I think Treyarch, this is the longest it's been for them to do a Call of Duty, right?
I think so, yeah. I'm pretty sure.
I think so. So everybody's hoping this is going to be returned to form. I hope they do the carryover like they did between the last two for the seasons for some of your skins and stuff. I'm not holding my breath on that. Again, I've said all along, if they do that, it's a big W. If they start giving us incentives for coming back yearly, obviously with Game Pass, huge W. If that turns out to be actual fact, again, as the Wall Street Journal was reporting, that it is coming into Game Pass, huge W for me with all the games that have come out, with how my budget has been completely depleted this first half of the year. Having one less game to buy and be able to play it in Game Pass, I'm all for it. I'm cool with that. I have so many games to play around that time that I don't need early access to Call of Duty. I don't need the Battle Pass out the gate. I'll just play it as is when it comes into Game Pass. But yeah, I mean, this is great news, Mav. It's going to be a massive blowout at the Direct. A lot of people are really hyped. And again, they're doing their marketing thing. Like, if there's one thing that Activision is good at, it's fucking marketing, bro. They got it. So,
and the acquisition for Microsoft did not affect that whatsoever. And in fact, I think there's probably going to be a lot of people excited to tune into that redacted event thing, or like the Dev Direct after the showcase. So.
And how many casuals, just out of curiosity, Mav, like, they will know this Direct's going on. Everybody's going to be talking about the Call of Duty showing off for the first time. This is why this is genius, even though I wish it wasn't necessarily Call of Duty on the Direct. I'd like to see one of the other games get the spotlight. However, I'd said from the business standpoint, for Xbox, stamping themselves all over this. How many of the casuals, knowing that the Call of Duty Direct's going to be right after the Xbox show, will just show up at the Xbox show to watch it, right? We'll just tune in just to be curious before the Call of Duty Direct to see some video game actions and be like, hey, what's Xbox doing? I haven't checked out Xbox in a while. What do they got rolling on? Gears.
Yeah, or maybe see if they have any other Call of Duty news.
Splinter Cell, right. Gears, Doom, Splinter Cell, right? I can go down that list. In fact, I'm going to transition to you, Mav. Bring up that list. I want to hear this.
Yeah, so this was fun. Like, so last night when we were, I just did a stream because I'm feeling hype. I'm feeling hype mode for showcase season in general, right? Ubisoft Forward show, Achilles show, especially the Xbox show. Just an overall hype mode for this right now. And like I saw Jez's article, and he said there's like a cloud over it for some. Like, you know, whatever. For many, maybe there is. For me, there's not. Right?
There's not.
There's not for me because it's about the fucking games at these shows.
Whatever.
Right?
You hate Xbox anyway. Stop lying.
And for me, it's about the fucking games. I want to see these games. And we were going through and we were just kind of like shooting the shit with the chat. And we went through and did a bunch of polls. And the chat was very engaged last night, giving feedback on like what games, yes or no, could show up. So we had a list. And some of this shit, I just randomly threw it out there. Right? But they said no to several, right? Like Fable was one they said no to. They said no to Kojima's game, OD. Like they said no to several, like that. I was actually surprised. But what we came up with was a list that's conceivably, fathomably possible. This is not going to happen, right? This list is way too good to be true. However, the fact that it is even in the realm of possibility for me is mind blowing, right? And it shows kind of where Xbox is, because these things exist, right? And to put it in perspective of this list that we're going to go through, the possibility that these things could show up, whereas if you look at the competition of different platform holders and the thoughts about what's going to show up, it's nowhere near comparison to this kind of list. So I'm going to go through it.
Okay, shoot, let's go.
Perfect Dark.
Okay.
They were like 90% that game's going to be there. They're with us, right?
Makes sense. Yep.
ZeniMax Online's game finally gets revealed.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah. They're very positive on this. Those were two that I put up there. It started out with, right? Corey C says, tell them, even if 30%, this is the best show ever. That's right. If we only get 30% of this stuff, this is an insane show.
Yeah, absolutely. E-Ranks, E-Ranks asked which one do we think is going to end the show. I'm already on record. I see Shane G in there doing the same thing. I would end it with Gears of War.
Yeah.
Gears of War 6 in the Marcus Phoenix collection, if it's real, blows out the show right at the end. You're done. You roll into freaking Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Yo. It's over. It's over. Like, you've dominated.
You lay out the gauntlet at this showcase.
Yes. It's gonna be amazing. So anyway, sorry, keep going.
Contraband.
Yes, it's got to show. Otherwise, I gotta scratch my head a little bit there. But it's got to show.
Doom Year Zero gets revealed.
Yeah, I think that's.
I mean, so you're in agreement so far with everything the chat was saying. This is insanity, right? State of Decay 3. This was one I told them I was more 50-50 on, but they said yes. They voted.
I think
like 60%.
I think they show here. Even it's 2 years away. Hopes and dreams. I've said that they go a little hopes and dreams. You show off State of Decay 3. I think they push that to launch title for the next console. It's 2026, but I think that you still show it off and see what the team's been doing, so that we get a look at least what the game's going for. Right? I think so.
Yeah,
for sure.
Gears 6.
Yep, of course.
Gears Collection.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm all in. I think the smoke's been real for a long time.
Okay, so this is where it gets interesting, because this came from inspired originally by Jez's article, because he teased something in his article, right?
Okay.
He teased a marketing deal that was going to show up at the showcase, getting its gameplay debut, that was going to give solace to a weary fan base, right? So we did thinking and stuff, and like originally my thought was like Splinter Cell, right? Because it's time. But then I started thinking about another game that should be ready to be shown, and that's Dragon Age. And then he used the word solace, which is a hint towards Solus, the main villain character.
Okay.
And I'm thinking Dragon Age is probably going to be the game. However, I let the chat vote whether it was going to be Splinter Cell, Dragon Age, or the chat was saying the Bond game. So I put that in all three, and the chat chose Splinter Cell, which was where my heart was anyway.
Right.
Now my heart number 2 would be Dragon Age. I fucking love Dragon Age franchise, right? So, but
EA hasn't announced any show yet, right?
No.
Okay.
So his tease, I think my Xbox got the marketing rights.
EA Summer Games Fest thing, though.
It could.
Well, okay. Number one,
this gameplay debut. So
number one, I have zero faith in BioWare right now.
Right.
Okay. So you guys got to understand this when I say this. Okay. This doesn't excite me at all. Okay. I have zero faith in BioWare. If this was the new Mass Effect, I would have more excitement, but I have zero faith in them reclaiming Dragon Age back to what it was. I just don't have any faith in them, but it does make some sense, Matt. It does make some sense that would be here. Right? I think Splinter Cell is definitely here too. Right. Again, I've already on record as saying that. So I think both could be here. Like if EA doesn't have, if they got the marketing rights, then obviously for sure. Even if they don't have the marketing rights, but EA wants to show it off somewhere, it's going to either be Keighley's Summer Games Fest or it's going to be at the Xbox, because those are the two biggest things going. And Xbox, with where they're positioned now with Call of Duty Direct, there might be more eyes on Xbox's showcase than ever before. So I think that does make some sense. It does make some sense.
Yeah. Man. But we put Splinter Cell on the list because that's what the chat voted. So Splinter Cell, right, will be at the show. And we've been speculating on that all along because we think this is the year we finally get the reveal for it, right? For that remake that was announced years ago. Avowed.
Yes.
Ara, Towerborn, Flight Sim, Age of Mythology Retold. I put those on there as givens.
Yep.
You know,
those are givens.
Now, here was something I just left this vague. Something Halo.
I say no.
Halo.
I say no to this at all.
Yeah, I was 50-50 on this. The chat said yes.
I think it's on hiatus. I think they're going to let them cook. I know they're rebuilding the team. I know that they potentially have other people working on projects around Halo, right? We've heard all that. But I think they let it chill. Next year, leading into potentially future hardware launch in 2026, which would be a launch title maybe they're shooting for.
Yeah.
Yes. This year, I don't think they bring out Halo at all. I really don't. I think they let that one take a back seat this time. Yeah. Yep.
All right. So that's
unless it's Halo Wars 3.
Yeah.
Then bring it on.
Well, like that's why I said something Halo. It could be anything.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know you did. I just don't think they're doing Halo Wars 3 at all. And I think that anything else Halo, I think they are going to let cook, and I don't think they're going to show it early. I think they're going to wait.
Right.
I think they're going to wait on it.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So the next one is Indiana Jones.
Yep. Of course.
South of Midnight.
No.
Okay.
I'm in the camp. This is weird. I could be completely wrong. I know nothing. You guys already know this. Again, I'm not an insider at all. Have I heard things here and there? Of course I have, but not regarding South of Midnight or Clockwork Revolution. The people that think South of Midnight is more ready than Clockwork Revolution, I think that's in my eyes that's reversed. In my eyes, I think that's reversed. I think we see Clockwork Revolution before we see South of Midnight again. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe they're really close on South of Midnight. I think both come out next year, but I think South of Midnight is the later one and Clockwork Revolution is the early one. That's my personal feeling on it, but we'll see.
I don't remember where the chat was on that one. I think it was closer to 50-50, but some of them were really close, like 54% to 46, and they were going tug of war, So next one I put up there because Iron Galaxy's been back in the fold and they keep talking about updates. Killer Instinct 2 gets officially announced that they're working on a new Killer Instinct. The chat said yes.
Yep, let's go.
Okay. Hell yeah. Still a realm of possibility, right? Double finds game.
Alvin. Compulsion's last game was 2017. Remember, they had to rebuild the whole studio. They had to beef up. It was during the pandemic. Again, I could be completely wrong, right? I could be completely wrong. There was word that they were slow going on South of Midnight for a while there, especially during the pandemic. And again, it was a Compulsion is an relatively inexperienced team who brought in a lot of new talent because Phil believes in them. I think Phil will give them time to make sure South of Midnight is in its top form. And I think In Exile being the more experienced team, yes, doing a completely different genre, but what I saw at a Clockwork Revolution looks like they're going to transition perfectly. I think that they get theirs done first. That's my thoughts. Again, I know nothing, obviously. Yeah. So again, it could be completely different, but I do hear you, Alvin. It's been a long time for Compulsion, but they've been going through a lot too. So we'll see.
So, on South of Midnight, your yes on Killer Instinct 2.
Yes.
Double Fine's new game gets revealed.
Yes. Okay. At least one of their games. I think that we get the one. What's the one game called? Kiln. Yes. I think that one could be shadow drop there. I think that one's ready to rock and roll. And then I think we get a tease to one of their other projects because supposedly they got 3 in the works. Yeah. So I think Kiln gets released. And I think we get a tease to one of their other projects, whether that's Psychonauts 3 or if it's something new. I think we do. Maybe they're going back to Brutal Legend again, which would be fantastic. We'll see one of those there for sure.
Clockwork Revolution shows again.
Yes, if it's a spring launch, I think we do see it here.
Yeah.
Now again,
so I think we see like you. 50, I think we see the earlier 2025 games get lined up here, right?
Yes.
Toys for Bob's game. Nope.
Too early. Unless they're going to tease it to hype, to recruit.
Where they do that with their website. Why they do that to the website?
With the little ticket. Yep. Maybe we do. Maybe we get a teaser here. I would personally say no. I personally say that would be later. But Keys, maybe.
Yeah. Oblivion remake.
Oh God, this is.
I'm hitting you with some tough ones, man.
Well, yeah, because we know they're doing something. Again, Scalzi had that rumor years and years ago. He was the first to say that he had heard they were creating a team to rework their older games and to bring them back as remasters or remakes, whatever you want to call them. I believed it from the beginning. It makes total sense that they would do it. It's just money. It's just printing money. Okay, it's just printing money. If you bring back Fallout 3, you bring back Oblivion, it's printing money. I feel Starfield is the main focus. They've got the Fallout series that just blew up. Fallout 76 is more popular than it ever has been before. People are going back by the millions to play a Fallout 4 again. Do you drop an Oblivion remake this year? Or do you sit
or
on
just
what
announce
you were
it
doing?
At least?
But it's got to be close to being done, man.
Right. You don't announce something like that way ahead of time.
Yeah. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say they're going to hold this for the opening year direct next year. Either the Fallout 3 remake, or the Oblivion remake gets announced at the early direct next year. That's what I'm saying.
Fair enough.
And it's ready. It's ready. Like they're going to be ready to drop. It's going to be, within a month or two of release.
Right.
I think. Yep.
Okay. Next is a fun one.
Yep.
Square has some kind of Final Fantasy announcement at the show.
Yes. I'm all on board. Well, okay. Final Fantasy specifically.
I could have left it more vague, but I think they're going to show up somehow, right?
Yeah, so, I mean, because if it's Final Fantasy Tactics, it's Final Fantasy Tactics. But I think there's potential that they announce an Xbox version of 16. So yes, I'll say yes.
Okay, so
because I've said all along they're going to be there with something.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think they Final Fantasy. I was trying to narrow it down a little bit, but not too much. Like it could be Final Fantasy Tactics. It could be like one of the remakes, or it could be.
Corey, see, it could be Octopath Traveler 2 coming to Xbox finally too, which would fall in line too. They're going to be there with something, at least one thing that solidifies the fact that they're being real with their new philosophy, their new initiative, and their new friendship with Xbox. Again, Visions of Mana was great. It was great. It was a surprise at the direct. It was cool to see him there, but they're going to come with something bigger to cement it, right? We got Final Fantasy 14. Great. That was promised a long time ago. Something new, big, that will say, yes, we are going to do this with Xbox. Let's go.
Yep. So this next one, I just randomly pulled out of my ass and then kind of talked some fun speculation, and the chat voted on it, and they voted yes after I pulled this out of my ass. Okay. So this is like going to be a weird one, but I was thinking back to when they announced the Sega nostalgia games, right? The like 4 or 5 Sega games they had. all those. And I think we see those again because I think there's something with Sega, no more partnership stuff we'll see besides just the Atlas games show up again. And I was thinking it'd be those games are like meant to be put into something like Game Pass on Xbox, right? Like I just feel it in my heart that's like a perfect thing, like a little extra part of the service to have this Sega nostalgia-ness as part of it. And I think they're going to announce that those games, at least the first round of them, are going to be in Game Pass with another sizzle reel trailer. So I speculated that. In the chat, voted yes on it. So
okay, it's certainly possible.
But you got to give me a yes or no. Will it happen?
Specifically, what you just said, they're going to be there and be in Game Pass.
Yeah. Or at least some of them, you know.
Because, well, we know that they're going for games as a service with Crazy Taxi for sure. So does it make sense? Are they going to charge money for it? Is it going to be free to play with cosmetics? How are they going to set that up? Also,
I just was thinking of the Sega partnership with Xbox and all that stuff, you know.
Yeah, no, I got you. I'll say, oh God. Okay, I'll say, since you said not all of them have to be in Game Pass, I'll say yes. That's fine. I'll say yes to that. Maybe one of them drops into Game Pass to give everybody a tease, but not all of them. I don't think the whole slate's going to go in there. Okay. This is my gut feeling. Okay.
I think they're going to brand these separately, differently, with Sega. And I think all those kinds of games get in Game Pass day one, but we'll see. It'll be. I mean, that's crazy speculation. That's good. This is one that I'm shooting for the moon for, and could be completely fucking wrong.
Corey, there is money in Game Pass with microtransactions. The thing that I'm thinking about is if they are games of service type games, right? That the partnership with Xbox, right, is that they advertise them obviously on Showcase, whatever else. But that we get perks in Game Pass Ultimate like we do with some other games as a service games. I think that would be the connection was like get your free Crazy Taxi outfit and paint scheme for your taxi, which I know they're probably gonna freaking do. Do stuff like that in partnership. That's where I could see it. But yeah, you're right, Corey. See, there's obviously tons of money in monetization, putting your game in Game Pass like that for sure.
All right, so next one, this is obvious, like game updates to like. You know, we get Starfield expansion, stuff like that. They're going to have stuff on Diablo 4 Vessels of Hatred, you know, Fallout 76 content, Elder Scrolls Online stuff, you know, WoW. They could talk about.
They will. No BlizzCon this year.
Numerous things like that.
Yeah,
right?
No BlizzCon, so yes.
Overwatch content, anything. They could have tons of stuff, right? Xbox. Okay, so there's two categories here. One is just vague Xbox hardware.
I don't think so.
No, like discless Series X, nothing like that.
Nope. I still think they have the hardware direct, like I suggested, where they showed off later. So I don't think they break up this show with any hardware news.
Okay.
I mean, would I be against it? No, I'm not against it, but I just don't think they do. They got too much to show.
So no handheld. Then the next one was handheld announcement. Then. So nope. Okay. All right. And then the ABK back catalog Game Pass drop.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
100%. At least the Call of Duties for sure, and then maybe a roadmap for what the other drops are going to look like. But that's all happening here. Right. I still see people upset all the time. This is totally strategic planning. This is people. Again, do I like it? No. Would I've already dropped all the games in the damn Game Pass? Of course I would. If you guys know how I roll, I wouldn't hold anything back from you guys. But this is strategic. They are stamping this whole showcase is going to be massive, and then they're going to have the Call of Duty Direct, and they're going to drop the Call of Duties into Game Pass, and it's going to be Call of Duty Overload on Xbox, and it's all going to be branded Xbox. They are going to use this to the fullest to establish that Call of Duty is home on Xbox.
Right.
And Xbox is the home of Call of Duty. That's what this is all about. This is pure marketing 101. Like that's what I see them doing. Again, could I become wrong? Yes, I could.
So
I think that's what happened.
Like last night when we did this, we went through and there was like 5 or 6.
How many games do you already have? Like full-fledged games? Have you counted?
There's like 28 or something. 20 or 26, maybe 26, 27, something like that. But 26, like, okay, let me count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 3 plus 24. So it's 24, but the Sega thing could be more than one, right?
Right. But I guess
there's the updates to the games, so I didn't count that also, right?
Those are usually counted.
And
right?
This was mainly focused on first party, right? Almost all this was first party.
I got it. I got it.
And there put a couple of the bigger third party type things. First party wise as well, like the chat left out several that I thought is a potential could be here again. They said no to Fable, they said no to OD, right?
No Fable, no OD.
Yeah. So you're in agreement with what the chat said. There was probably like 5 or 6 things that we ran through, and then they said no to. As well, I can't remember all the top of my head. So,
OD will be on Keeley's stage next.
Call of Duty is obviously on here as well. Question for you: is there anything glaring that I missed when we were doing this last night that you can think of?
Not a fan, no.
Okay.
Not underneath the first party category. No, I mean, again, that's no. There's nothing glaring that I know of, that I think I know of. I mean, again, I'm trying to think what else.
Like we did Project Dragon, they said no to that.
Really?
Yeah.
IO could show up at this. IO could be here with Bond
so
or Project Dragon. I think they could be here. I think
they said no to both of those.
Okay. I said 40 plus with the showcase. Roughly you're at, we'll just say first party wise, we'll say 26, 14 slots for third party. I think we'd probably wind up in the 43 to 44 game range if you're counting third party and second party in there too. So yeah, that's about spot on, Mav. I think you hit. I'm trying to think if there's nothing else missing. Now, what I was going to add to this, Mav, is the smoke this week from both Special Nick and Jez, that there could be an Xbox 360 JRPG coming back.
Yeah, I saw that. So
Lost Odyssey, if they do
a deal with Mistwalker,
if they freaking get Mistwalker back in line to make another, that would be
just doing mobile games now, right?
Yes. For the most part, they've done some. Didn't they do some Switch games?
I don't know. But think about this: if you like,
it was mobile though.
I'm not sure, but like, if you were to try and get in line and have a good relationship with a developer like that, do games for you. If you do have a handheld coming out in the future as well, they also have the track record of making other smaller type experiences that could be good for that kind of category. Also, I don't know. Maybe it's a start of something potentially.
I just, what do they got planned? They got Fantasian for iOS, iPad, Mac OS, tvOS. Yeah, everything's been mobile lately.
Yeah.
But Sakaguchi, for anybody who doesn't know why Mav and I are talking like this, maybe some of the younger people don't even know. Sakaguchi is one of the original creators of Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Okay. He's one of the main brains behind Final Fantasy way back. Sakaguchi is revered in the East. He is getting older. I think he's in his late 60s, I want to say, at this point, mid to late 60s, maybe. He doesn't have much time left. For anybody, I mean, maybe he just keeps going until he's no longer here with us. But yeah, he's 66. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, he's not even that old. 63. He's a lot younger than I thought he was. Turning 64, excuse me, or 62, excuse me. He'll be 62 this year. Do math right now, Matt, please, or Pong. Let's do this. Let's see. If Sakaguchi can get back on board to do another Lost Odyssey is considered one of the greatest JRPGs of that generation. And a lot of people didn't experience it because it was Xbox 360. That was when they were investing tons of money into the East, trying everything possible. Lost Odyssey was one of the major bright spots for the Xbox 360.
That and Blue Dragon was the two games.
That Blue Dragon, Yep, exactly. So if they can get Sakaguchi back online again to do this, like, this would be absolutely incredible. And my God, would I die. I Lost Odyssey is freaking ridiculous. Like, there's some people who say it competes with the best Final Fantasies. Like,
that is an amazing game.
Yeah, it is. It is. So I just, when I saw Special Nick point that out, and then I saw Jez kind of hint at it too, that makes a lot of sense. But my God, are they going to convince him to come back to do a major game? Like, he's not into that right now. He's doing these mobile games. He's happy. Like, he's chill. Like, he's totally chill. Is he going to come back to the scene? Oh man, that'd be interesting to see that. Yeah, I see some people pointing out no Outer Worlds 2. I brought this up.
I put it out there. They said no in the chat yesterday.
They said no.
Yeah.
I think I guess I would lean no. There's a chance, but because of Avowed being so close to launch, I think Obsidian's gonna get that out the door. I think we see Outer Worlds 2 next year. So I would probably lean that way. I still think there's a chance we get another look at it, a better tease, because the first trailer legit was a joke. Like they made up the first trailer as a joke, advertising Outer Worlds 2. So would I like to see a real one with a real title screen and stuff? Yeah, I would. I do think with Avowed so close, I think they're just going to hold off. I don't know if you heard today too, Mav, there are people talking that Avowed's latest version is looking
a lot better.
So
yeah, I thought it looked great last time. I went back and watched that trailer again, and
I'm good.
Yeah.
But the fact is, if it isn't even more improved, I can't wait to see it, and I hope it's right there. Yeah. I hope it's there. I hope they have a big showing. I was hoping that was going to be the direct, honestly. But I know they already did kind of a big expose on it. They had that whole kind of blowout, but I was really hoping for a deep dive on it. But I'll take what I can get. But Avowed, I think, has a final trailer here, an announcement of a release date, or at least a semi-final trailer. So
so like just put this into perspective, Pong.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Like first party type showcase, and obviously there's gonna be third party there. From the ones that you said yes to, okay?
Yes.
So we narrowed it down even more. Everwild said no yesterday when I asked them. Mainland.
No, next year. Next year. They ain't ready. They got solar panels installed.
Yeah, we did a vote on all of them. Like, there's so many games we did vote on, and I'm telling you, like, this was a lot of them. The chat said no to several games. So the realm of possibility here, Pong. Perfect Dark, ZeniMax Online's game, Contraband, Doom Year Zero, State of Decay 3, Gears 6, Gears Collection, Splinter Cell. Maybe either Splinter Cell or Dragon Age 4, right? Either one, still a big thing. To be at Xbox show. Avowed, Ara, Towerborn, Flight Sim, Age of Mythology Retold. You said no to something Halo, so I'll leave it off.
Yep.
Indiana Jones. You said no to South of Midnight, so I'm leaving it off. Killer Instinct 2.
Yep.
Double Fine's game. Clockwork Revolution. Leaving off Toys for Bob game. Leaving off Oblivion Remake. Some kind of Square Final Fantasy thing.
Yep.
Something Sega in the Game Pass. Maybe one of those nostalgia games.
Sure.
All the whole expose on the game updates on all these other live service games that they have, plus the Starfield expansion. Which is going to be numerous things I think they have like this. The ABK Bat Compat Game Pass drop, and Call of Duty.
Yep. And I think we get a StarCraft tease too.
Yeah. So do you want to put a vote on that? We have about the same amount of. I can add it because that's one I had considered adding, but I didn't want to go too far.
A tease. So it's going to be a splash screen to help hiring on to make the game.
Okay. So StarCraft tease. I'll put the poll out
there. Put the poll. Everybody get ready for the poll. Yeah,
StarCraft tease be at the show.
LS, we did just talk about that. Yeah, Gears 6 definitely is going to be at this show. Coalition's going to be there for sure. It's time. So, and then
the thing is, out of that list, what doesn't show up, at least from the first party things we know about, will be at another show probably soon. And the only reason they would not have it here was for the sake of time to have at something else. Either the Gamescom Dev Directs that's separate, or like Game Awards, or some other kind of thing for early next year. Like, if there's anything that we went through here that's not going to be there, it's because they're going to show it at one of these other things probably relatively soon.
The Tokyo Game Show would be a good spot for StarCraft teas as well, because obviously it's still giant in the East. Like that would be massive. So yeah, you're right. A lot of this stuff could get pushed. Again, the idea is that nothing here, like in years past, we've done a lot of these guesses, right?
Yeah.
We've gone big, right? We've gone big or go home. Almost everything on that list is like 90% credible. Like there's like nothing else
fucking crazy, you know,
because there's nothing on there even outside of Doom Year Zero, right? That's the only thing we have had. Like when we saw the leak, right? That's all we saw. But I'm saying everything else has been pretty much talked about. I mean, Phoenix Collection again, not talked about. So there's a couple things, but we know that there's other things on there that we know there's other things in the works that we still have zero idea about at all. That we have this stuff out elsewhere. Entertainment has been forming for the past 2 to 3 years and already is moving into next phase outside of concept phase and hiring. Like we had zero idea they existed. Right? There is a ton of that stuff. So yes, this is what's crazy is that list is legit. That's why I think we've all been on board that this will be the biggest showcase they have ever had. And went out with ABK again, that's not going out on a limb. This is going to be the biggest showcase Xbox has ever had. And again, I'm predicting 40 plus games. You just rattled off 25, 26, 27, whatever it is. Throw in third party sizzle reels, throw in second party stuff. You could easily hit mid 40s in a 2-hour show if it winds up being 2 hours, which I think it will wind up being 2 hours without the Call of Duty Direct. They have to, Mav. We've said all along they could have had two to 3 days of shows themselves, an E3 for each section that they own now. They could have easily done it, right? Especially 2-day. I could have seen a 2-day deal with these guys.
Yeah.
This is what Xbox is now. They're one of the world's largest publishers. And I'll say it again for all the people in the back. Is it the strategy that I would do with where they're going right now? No, it is not. However, as the gamer, I will say this. I don't give 2 shits about how many of these games go to PlayStation, how many of these games go to Nintendo. I am going to be fired up at this showcase knowing that every single one of the first party titles announced will be coming into Game Pass day and date, and I get to play them. And I'm going to be so freaking hyped for every third party that gets up there, that they're doing deals with, that they're having partnerships with, that they're giving us new games. And if Splinter Cell's on that stage, my God, you might as well watch me and Mav meltdown for sure. And especially if they give us any glimpse of gameplay.
Spontaneously combust. Probably. Yeah.
So I am through the roof. This is going to be one of the most incredible shows ever given by anybody. Because again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't care. This is about me and my personal hype level. I think this will be one of the best shows ever given, if not the best show ever given by any single publisher in the history of video games. I think this is going to go down. This will beat Sony's hopes and dreams showcase, which a lot of people point to. This will beat that showcase because I think it's going to be a mix of what's coming and also giving us hopes and dreams as well and look into the future. I can't wait for freaking June 9th, man. I can't. It's not. Everything's off. Shackles are off. They're free. Yeah. They can do whatever the hell they want now.
It's time to let loose and reveal to the world, you know, that for those that have been ignorant to all of this going on, like slap them in the face with it, right? Take this pipeline of content you have and just wham! Like, look, this is what we've been talking about. This is what we've been doing. And all of this shit you're going to get to play relatively soon. Look at it all. And then you announce a couple things for further off. Then you tease hardware for the future. Like, whatever. Just lay it out there. And the thing is, on this list that we were going through, nothing on there is really fucking crazy at all.
No.
It's not like we're like shooting for some like pipe dream stuff. The Splinter Cell game that we included, we know it exists. Ubisoft announced it a couple years ago.
Spider-Man 356, do you think Splinter Cell's not happening at the Xbox showcase, or are you trying to say Splinter Cell's not happening at all? Because like Mav just said, it's already been announced, and there's been massive tease that it's going to be at the Ubisoft Forward.
Yeah.
So we are getting Splinter Cell.
They've talked about it more than one time also.
Like,
Ubisoft has.
Right, Ubisoft has, and I think that they're going to do exactly what they did with Star Wars Outlaws last year, which was show up at the Xbox showcase with the initial tease and then roll into Ubisoft Forward and give us a lot more Splinter Cell. That's exactly what they did with Star Wars Outlaws last year.
No, it ain't canceled, bro.
Nah,
there's people like that know some stuff like going on with Ubisoft that have been out there in the community saying like, yeah, it's like
they've been, yeah, no. No, and it's not even Skull and Bones. It's not even Skull and Bones. It's not going to take 8 years to come out either. Yeah. So
I think it's the year that we get the like reveal of it, you know. But we'll see. Yeah. I mean, and it's based on also like the Twitter accounts for the studio and also teasing things like that. Plus also the community that's really been involved in keeping track of things around the Splinter Cell franchise is the ones that are really thinking it might show up at the Ubisoft Forward. If it shows up at the Ubisoft Forward, then there's a good chance it'll show up at the Xbox show.
That's right.
Or the Keeleys.
Big Mad Mo, good to see you, brother. Thank you for dropping in here. Yeah, man, it's Christmas time for gamers, man. It's good. It's Christmas time for gamers, and this year, I think Santa Claus is gonna be really good to us.
Yeah,
really.
There's like I said earlier, there's no cloud over my head either, man. It's like I don't really like if it's about the games. Like this is gonna be probably that show where we're literally freaking out, like about. And not just the Xbox show. I think the other shows are going to be great too.
Yep.
I think this is literally going to be the best like E3 season that we've had in years. And if people have clouded vision because of the or clouded feelings because of the direction of Xbox and maybe some of the games potentially going multi-platform or whatever, that's fine. That's up to you, right? But like I focus on me and like what am I going to get to enjoy from those shows, and like at the Xbox show, like Pong said, all those games are going to be in like Game Pass day one from the first party side, and I will get to play them on my Xbox Series X that I enjoy, and probably on whatever the next Xbox piece of hardware that they have,
PC
and I'll get to play them on my fucking PC. Or like I'm happy, I'm good. Like what more do I ask for? Like all of these games are gonna get announced and shown and stuff, and I'm gonna be like, "Fuck yes, fuck yes, fuck yes, fuck yes." Give it to me. Announce more. Put them all on Game Pass. I want it all. Let's go, because that's what is good for me, right? So that's what I'm gonna be excited about.
Did you have R on that list, by the way? I'm assuming you did.
Yeah. I included the ones that are slated for this year, just kind of like as a. And I don't think obviously a lot of them they don't have to spend too much time on. You know.
Yeah. No. They won't.
They'll have other times to market and trailers and stuff like that, but
LS, where do you think GTA shows up? GTA either is a Keeley show at some point, or they do their own
thing.
Yeah, I don't think they're giving. I personally have said this for a while. I don't think they're selling the marketing rights to anybody. I don't think they need to. I really don't, and I think that what it would take to get to. Now, could Sony drop off the bag? Could Xbox drop off the bag? Absolutely, they could. Could Nintendo drop off the bag for the Switch too? Sure, they could. I just think the asking price would be way beyond what it would be worth to have. Maybe I'm completely wrong, right? Maybe Sony wants it for the PS5 Pro. If that turns out to be something they announce, maybe they do drop the bag to get the PS5 Pro and they have it as Sony showcase. I think GTA does their own. I personally, I think Take-Two is that it's. Bro, they can do whatever the hell they want with that. It's there. I mean, it's not that they already know. You guys understand that in the last the earnings call that they just had, that they just took a loss of what was it, Matt? It was a nearly $3 billion loss. Take-Two off their quarterly earnings. They wiped out. Okay, part of devaluation. Okay. Nearly $3 billion. They took a loss in that quarter. Their stock went down like $2, and then by the end of the day was back to where it was before. Like that's how much everybody knows, including the shareholders and the stock markets know what GTA is going to do when they launch it. It's an automatic. They're going to have the biggest selling game of all time instantaneously. It will break every single record the day it launches. Pre-sales will break the record the day it launches, even if it's only on console first. If they do wind up announcing with this delay a PC, I'll call it a delay because whatever. I know some people hate that shit, but whatever. Internal delay till next fall. If they announce a PC version day 1 too, it's over with. You literally, Cyberpunk 2077 had 13 million pre-sale copies. What is GTA 6 going to do? You legit could have 25, 30 million pre-sales, maybe even more. Like unheard of. Nobody does that.
Yeah.
Nobody's done it. Yeah, GTA 6 is automatic. It's just, it doesn't matter. That's why they probably did spend the $1 billion that people have suggested they are spending on it with marketing. If it's $1 billion, it doesn't matter. They'll make it back in pre-sales. They'll be in the black within the first week, instantaneously.
Yeah.
It's a joke, man.
You know what's crazy? I was just kind of looking back through this list, right? And there's only 2 things on here from first party that we technically don't know exist.
Mm-hmm.
That's Killer Instinct 2 and the Oblivion remake. Mm-hmm. Everything else has already been talked about as a project and stuff for a while, right? So when people talk about pipelines and content and things to look forward to, I challenge any other platform holder right now to stand up against this. Because like if you look at PlayStation, like what do you know about right now? You know about Wolverine, Concord. We know about Marathon and Fair Games.
Mm-hmm.
And Death Stranding 2, right?
Yep.
So we know about like 5 games, maybe. Silent Hill 2, maybe that's the third party. That's not first party. Here we legitimately think these are possible to even show up at this year's showcase for Xbox. Perfect Dark, ZeniMax Online game, Contraband, Doom, Year Zero, State of Decay 3, Gears 6, the Gears Collection. Well, okay, Gears Collection, we don't know that exists, so I'll take it off. Okay, because it's just
correct. Yep. No,
I mean,
it's all been smoke.
It's all a lot of smoke, but I'll take that off. Okay, so Gears 6, Avowed, Aura, Towerborn, Flight Sim, Age of Mythology Retold, the Halo project that they have already said they're working on again, Indiana Jones, South of Midnight, Double Fine's game, Clockwork Revolution, Toys for Bob game, Killer Instinct is in the work, like not in the works, but like it's a ongoing service game now. It seems like I don't know if they're gonna do 2 or they're gonna keep it going. I don't know, but up until Killer Instinct, all of those we know are legitimate, like for sure. And Call of Duty, I like Call of Duty. For first party, so it's Perfect Dark, ZeniMax, Contraband, Doom, State of Decay 3, Gears 6, Avowed, Aura, Towerborn, Flight Sim, Age of Mythology Retold, Something Halo, Indiana Jones, South of Midnight, Double Fine's game, Clockwork Revolution, and the Toys for Bob game. And that doesn't include the games that the community downvoted as far as saying they don't think it's just going to show up this year. And that was Fable, OD. Let's see, there was like probably 4 other games. I don't know, but that's fucking amazing.
It is. It is.
And the reason that everybody said yes to these is because they think there's hypothetically we're going to see these in the next couple years release, right? Yep. And most of these are probably going to be within the next year and a half.
Yep. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts.
Why State of Decay 3 and not Fable? Because our chat voted on that last night, Spider-Man. And Fable they already showed last year, right?
Yep.
And if it's a 2025 game, they don't need to necessarily show it again this year. Right. They would save the time to show something else they haven't shown yet, right? Correct. Which would be State of Decay 3. So that's why I think the chat voted that yesterday.
And I think they give Fable the special treatment like they did with Starfield.
Yeah.
Especially if they're planning on being big. So it will get a it'll get a showing early next year. And then they will announce the direct for the showcase next year.
Yeah.
And they will have a Fable direct next year.
Fable's next year. It'll probably be later in the year, I would think. So they would probably have like a chance to do either dev recs and the showcase next year.
Yes, big blowout
potentially before they have the release. So they don't need to show it again this year. But
although,
they could.
Could the Call of Duty Direct become a yearly thing? It could. I wouldn't be excited about it per se, but it could. Yeah,
Yeah.
it could. It's that big. But I think Fable gets its own Starfield-like direct because they're going to have a lot to show. Because I don't think the game's going to be small. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think the game's going to be big. I think there's going to be a lot into it. Corey asked, when do you think the Sony showcase is? I will tell you this, Corey. There are very few and far between. Obviously, we know Sony insiders. Most of them never talk. Okay. I know of one who never really speaks, very rarely. But I do believe that when he has spoken, he has been 100% correct. And I do know that he has put out there that the first week of June, we will see a showcase. There was also some conversation today about Concord being shown off within the next couple of weeks, which would align with the first week of June. So I will just say that, again,
yeah, Grub and Special Nick think it's the end of May.
So some people suggest the end of May.
Yeah.
Again, the dude that I know that does have some information, it says the first week of June. So we'll see which one it winds up being. It's a good guess somewhere in there. It's a good guess. Take it with a grain of salt. We'll see.
Are they educated guesses from these people? Maybe, like I think like possibly we're going to, I was surprised if it was end of May that they didn't allude to it at the Sony business thing.
Spider-Man, I'm not saying they have anything. Again, there's not going to be anything coming out. They already said they're pushing their games as service till next year too, but they're going to have a showcase. They're going to have a hopes and dreams. They're going to announce the PS5 Pro if it's still legit. If they haven't canceled the PS5 Pro, and the only reason why I say this is because Fuzzy believes it might have been canceled.
Could have been.
If they're going to announce that, and then they're going to have hopes and dreams. They're going to have another hopes and dreams showing. They're not going to have anything saying, surprise, we got 3 games coming out at the end of 2024. That ain't happening.
So Spider-Man asks what games, so they could reveal Cory Barlog's game. They could reveal Neil Druckmann's game. They could reveal the Horizon Games of Service game. They could show more Wolverine. They'll show more Death Stranding 2. Maybe a better, hopefully, trailer for the Silent Hill.
Silent Hill 2 remake or whatever. Silent Hill.
I'm trying to think what maybe they give an early
Fair Games.
Yeah, I said Fair Games, Concord.
Or did you?
Marathon.
Marathon.
They'll probably talk about Helldivers at the next show that they have again because it's a huge thing. I think they'll prop it up a little bit more. But I think they have other games that they haven't announced from these studios. The Ghost of Tsushima 2 is a fair bet.
Yep. It goes to Tsushima 2 for sure.
Yeah.
Whatever Ben's been working on.
Yeah, Ben's game. The thing is, I think because of the in touch, because of how communicative Xbox has been and how in touch the community's been with Xbox, there's a lot more known about what Xbox is working on. And they've been talking about it with showcases and all this stuff. Sony's been quiet. They had the show last year, but it was only focused on those games and service games. So we know that they're working on games at Sony. We just have no clue when the fuck they expect them. Except for their words themselves, they don't have any game like that, any kind of tentpole type, traditional big-time existing franchise game until after first quarter 2025. But we know to expect something from them like that after first quarter 2025. So they're going to announce something at some point. I just don't know when. And I think when they announce, like we've been speculating for a while, when they announce the PS5 Pro, if it's real, if they are going to continue with that idea, then that's when they're going to reveal the bigger roadmap of those kinds of games.
Yep.
The question is are they going to be ready? Do they have them? Are they having development problems pushing forward because of shakeups and all this kind of stuff? Is that what Hiroki Totoki is upset about? The pipeline is damaged to where things are falling further away than they thought because the other games they all got out were from one team studios that all had to be finished and had been worked on for years, and then they cleaned the deck, and now everything else is far, far away. That could be the situation, but they're working on stuff. It's just a question of when. And if that's what I've been trying to say, though, if you look at Xbox's pipeline of content, there's no question there about things. There's questions with Sony, right? You could even ask, like, where's all the Nintendo big games, right? Like, they're probably waiting to reveal those when the Switch 2 gets revealed, right? So overall, like, if I had to choose like a platform, like what I'm most excited about the next few years of content, I'm picking Xbox every day of the week.
Yep.
Because that's the games. That's where the games are, you know? But yeah, at some point Sony's going to reveal shit. Yeah, so the alternative is they just quit the games business. Like that's not happening anytime soon. So did not think they're going to have shows where they announce new games coming out. Is for like, I don't know. It's not where we're at with Sony right now. So as much as some people want to be the reality, I don't want to see any of these companies go out of business or anything, and none of them are anywhere near the realm of closing up shop.
No, they're all they're all evolving right now. They're all transforming, and it's going to be interesting. Even Nintendo, like I said, Nintendo, it's got me interested for the first time in a long time. But I am fascinated because the way, if the rumors are true about their hardware, they're taking a big leap compared to the Switch. That increases your dev costs. That increases production time on your games. If you're going to make a more realistic version of Zelda, and your devs have been used to making one type of Zelda for a while now, it is going to cause some changes to Nintendo and how they view things. And it sounds like they made a purchase this week. We didn't even talk about it, Mav, but I'll bring it right now real quick before we get out of here. Nintendo acquisition season is going on because they purchased, oh my God, did I lose it? What was the name of the studio again? They've worked with the studio a lot. The studio is responsible for bringing ports of third parties over to the Switch and has done a good job. What was the freaking name of that? Here we go. Shiver Entertainment from Embracer Group. So Embracer Group, Lars wasn't done selling off, even though he said he was. So he sold in Shiver Entertainment to Nintendo. They made the ports for Hogwarts Legacy and Mortal Kombat 1 on the Switch. So they did a bang up job getting both of those games to somehow work on the Switch. Nintendo went out and grabbed them. Why? Because the Switch 2, they do not want to have necessarily the third party problem they had with the Switch, because they're going to need more games to start funneling in some more money, right? Mm-hmm. Because they know the costs are going to go up. They aren't going to be making as much on the hardware as they are used to with the Switch. The game costs are going to go up. Dev time's going to go up. They are going to need more third-party support this time around than they did on the Switch. So they went out and got Shiver Entertainment to help with that. That's awesome. I'm happy that Nintendo's making a move to, again, they don't do this very often. It's very strategic when they make an acquisition. But this one is, I think, a good buy. So, but I'm looking forward to see what Nintendo does.
Yeah.
It's going to be different, man.
For sure.
It's going to be different.
When will we see it? Summer next year, probably. Man, it's been a drag waiting for that fucking Switch 2, dude.
Yeah, it is.
God. It's been a hard generation for me as a Nintendo. I also like Nintendo, everybody. I do. I like Nintendo. I like Sony as well. And for anybody that thinks, oh yeah, whatever. It's been probably the shittiest stretch for me as a gamer that likes all platforms. For Nintendo and Sony, the last like 8 years or so. It's just sucked ass for me as a gamer that likes to play games on those platforms. It really has. I want better. I want different. So whenever I'm talking shit, it's because I want them to do good.
Yeah. Delroy just brought up. That's right. We got the Lego Horizon game too. And we've got the Horizon Battle Royale that they could announce as well.
Yeah, as I mentioned, the Horizon.
Did you? But the Lego Horizon game too. Yeah, the Lego
I forgot
Horizon
there's a Lego Horizon game. That's so.
Herman Holst came from Gorilla.
Yeah.
There's a Horizon is getting the treatment of God of War and Spider-Man these days, man. I'm telling, and again, this coming from a guy who likes Horizon. So it's just weird.
I want Gorilla to move on to a different franchise.
Bring back Killzone. Bring back freaking Killzone. I don't care what anybody says.
I have no interest in fucking Horizon, man. I want to try and get into it. I just never can.
I enjoy it. Simply the robot dinosaurs and the
that's why I don't like about it.
I love it.
It gets so boring to me for some reason. I want to like it.
All right, a lot of people are like you.
You're not in a minority. I think the gameplay is like smooth. It's a quality game's optimized. I'm not saying it's a bad game at all. I think it's actually a quality game. Very high quality. If I was to review it, I'd try and be as objective as possible. But like when I play it, I just get bored quickly. I don't know why.
$2 euro super chat from the one and only David. Says Pong, please rate Hellblade 2 between an 81 and 82. Why would I rate it between an 81 and 82? First of all, I probably will never give it like impression wise already. If I just gave you an impression for my first, whatever it is, 3 to 4 hours, 2 hours spent in photo mode, I would already be at an 8.5, 8.75 for me personally. I personally, like right now, I could probably even convince myself to give it a 9 out the gate. Again, I'm not saying it's a 10 out of 10, right? I'm not saying that. Yeah. Some people do think it's 10 out of 10, and I don't disagree with you guys. Again, I'm not that dude saying you can't rate something 10 out of 10. A masterpiece for you. I did that for Starfield.
No, nothing is perfect.
Starfield's my masterpiece. Starfield's a 10 out of 10 for me as a game.
I think that's the like misconception when people think that like a 10 out of 10 has to be a perfect game.
That's never been.
Nothing is perfect, right?
BioShock is the closest thing that I will ever say comes out to a perfect 10 out of 10.
Oh, but like then you can nitpick the way the gunplay feels and the combat.
But you couldn't for back then.
Oh yeah, yes you could.
Retro. No.
Oh, like back in the day, the gunplay was great. The gunplay was reticle. Oh no,
it was great.
The gunplay was okay.
Nope.
It was comparatively to like shooters and games that had guns in it. Gunplay was just like middle.
But it wasn't a straight up shooter.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like you can when I played the first BioShock, I was like, man, the guns feel sluggish and all that kind of stuff.
Oh
like,
hell no! Oh
yeah.
hell no!
No, but I loved BioShock. I loved it. I fucking loved it. I would consider it a masterpiece game too, also. But I would say it's not perfect. Come on, perfect.
Warhammer Mechanicus 2. Yeah, I bought the first one. It's a sleeper hit. Corey, see, I own Mechanicus, so I actually own that. I have played a little bit of it. Again, I own almost every Warhammer game. You guys don't understand. Warhammer games are hit or miss.
Yeah.
I actually like some of the crappy ones. I own almost every Warhammer game. It's ridiculous how many I have in my library and how many I haven't spent. I need 2 of me, or I need us to go to a 36-hour day. One of the 2 things have to happen for me to get to my library. And now, Mav, I was just talking about, remember what I was talking about when we found out that Star Wars is potentially getting a total war and I need to prep for it because I'm all in. Warhammer, of course, with Warhammer Skulls going on, Warhammer 3 is now on sale on Steam. So you can get the whole package, all the DLC for $84 right now.
The old RTS games?
Total Warhammer.
Oh, Total War. Okay. Yeah.
Total War Warhammer 3, the new one.
Yeah.
Or the latest one with all the DLC for $84. I might have to pull the trigger, everybody, because I got to jump in that and I got to learn it. Because if Star Wars Total War is a reality,
is that one still in Game Pass? That they put that one in Game Pass when it launched, right?
It's gone. Okay. I played it for a short period. Like when I got my PC and I downloaded PC Game Pass, like I had it on there for like a week and a half, and I played it a couple of times, and then it was gone from Game Pass. So I got to pick it up. But yeah, I can't wait. Age of Mythology is going to be freaking ridiculous, David. Age of Mythology, like I said, you can't drop it in October, November, December.
Yeah.
If you can't do it, you're going to kill me. You're going to kill me, Xbox. Don't do it. You got to drop it August, September.
Necromunda is a great game, but man, when it launched, it had this crazy bad issue, bro.
Sick. That's sick.
Oh man, it was so bad at launch. But they fixed it quickly.
Necromunda is a fun ass game. I got that too. Yeah.
The last Warhammer RTS game that came, I was playing that and it's really good. I didn't get too deep into it, but I was like, wow, this is actually smooth and polished.
Yeah,
it looks really good.
Yeah. Oh, and then anybody out there too that is which one are you talking? You're not talking about Stormground, right? You're talking about the other one that I got you to buy for $1.
I don't even remember which one it is, to tell you the truth.
Okay. I own both of those too. Anybody, I know, I just stupid, bro.
There's so many fucking games.
There is Warhammer 40,000 Gladius. By the way, everybody, if you didn't know this, is free on the Epic Game Store. I don't get that about PCRMR guys. Like, I don't understand why you guys hate these other launchers. to be real. Like, I understand the storefronts aren't as cool as Steam, and they're not.
Yeah.
Like, I get that.
Yeah, I prefer Steam, but like, but
to get 3 games, to download an extra load, launcher, I don't give a shit. But anyways, Warhammer Gladius Relics of War is free right now on Epic Game Store. I don't know if you saw that, Mav. I did post in the DMs earlier today, so you can go grab it.
Cool.
Turn-based, good shit.
Nice.
Anyways, all right, everybody. Oh, by the way, good news too for me and Mav and all you RTS fans out there. Relic is now fully independent. They got a partner, a UK-based investment firm called Emona Capital. So they are fully independent after being sold by Sega. So Relic is good to go for right now. So, hey, Phil, pick up the phone, cut a deal for Relic to help you out on StarCraft, Halo Wars 3. You know, just do it. Relic's good. Relic's good squad. Go get him. Go get him, Tiger. Give him some business. All right. I think that's it. It's already 11 o'clock. Thank God I don't have to work tomorrow. Jesus. Thank fucking Christ.
But we had a 2-parter because we get our
I know.
Crash, so.
And we started late because of me. So I get it. I know. So, but yeah, Math, if you're good, let's get everybody out of here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm hungry.
Hellray, is it free on Steam too? Oh, cool. I did not know that. I just saw the Epic one, so I didn't know that it was free on Steam. Otherwise, I would have picked up on Steam. I'll go over to Steam and grab it too. All right, everybody. Yeah, Corey, the Mechanicus 2. I saw that trailer briefly too. I can't wait. That is a good game. I gotta go back and play the first one though. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us for PM and the PM Pong and Mav and the PM. Still got like 100 people here watching us through technical issues, having to go to a part 2 stream, all that craziness, starting late, being here late on a school night. Y'all are crazy. Okay. So appreciate you all for being here on another Thursday night. Nothing but love and respect, all the support, all the time that you give us just by being here, lurking, chatting, or otherwise. You guys brought a lot of discussion tonight too. A lot of good points in there. Thank you all. Love you for that. Mav, my co-host with the most. What do you think, brother? We going to have Xbox Ultimate tomorrow night or what?
I think so.
I mean, it's been basically just been you, me, and Fuzzy.
I know.
So, I mean, I'm just asking.
Pretty much. Yeah. No,
it's
for sure.
Showed up, which has
been I'm too hyped lately for this showcase and stuff to skip right now. Unless for some reason the unforeseen happens. But yeah, planning on tomorrow night having our show, 10 p.m. Eastern time, hang out, Xbox Ultimate podcast. Then Mondays we have Fun Speculation podcast at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Back here on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern with Pong, Soul, and I on a normal Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, or actually more normally 7:15, probably or
probably.
So. But yeah, I appreciate everybody here hanging out, fighting through the technical issues that I had. You guys are amazing. This community fucking rocks, bro. Even when we disagree, it's still cool. This community is amazing.
It is. It absolutely is. Cool, man. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. My last weekend of being 48.
Yeah.
So I'm going into my final year, man. Memorial Day is my birthday this year. So
today's my sister's birthday.
Oh, it is. Happy birthday to sis.
She just turned 49 today.
Oh. She's right with me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she's a 49er now. Like you.
49ers.
I can give you some fun facts about 49. My brother was in a thread with me today.
Oh my God.
With me and my sister. Fun 49 facts. So I'll hit them up with you later in the DMs.
Okay, all right. Sounds good. You guys all know where to find me. Pongsoul on X, formerly known as Twitter. Pongsoul on the Xbox. Pongsoul on Steam. Pongsoul on Epic. Pongsoul on GOG. Pongsoul everywhere. Otherwise, I should be joining Ultimate if Doggo goes sideways. Might not be around. So we'll see how that goes again. Otherwise, I should be there for Xbox Ultimate tomorrow night. Join in the fun, obviously. I got tomorrow off, which is going to be fantastic. I got to get a lot of stuff done, though. Man, it's not going to be all fun and games, but I'm going to try to get some gaming in, too. And then otherwise, Saturday mornings, you got to set the alarm. Steel and I will be live, as far as we know of right now, for Living Split Screen. That's right, 3+ hours, 4. I should just say it, unless Steel and I got something going on. It's going to be 4. Buckle up. morning to your afternoon, or your afternoon to your evening, depending on where you are in the world. Join me and Steel live, raw, and uncut every Saturday for Living Split Screen. Split Screen is all one word, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time. We got a lot to dive into. If you like this format with me and Mav, you'll love me and Steel on Saturday mornings. There's a lot of the same, man. We just have a good time, but Steel comes with a different perspective. So it's going to be a blast Saturday morning. And then, of course, Saturday night, it is the Shop Podcast, PTK Blam's channel. That's right, the Shop Podcast, the best way to end your Saturday night with Blam, Fuzzy, myself. I don't think he's announced guests this week yet, but we always usually have one or two. So be there for the Shop Podcast, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Central Time on Saturday night. And then, of course, next week it starts all over again. Double Barrel Gaming's channel. Boomstick is the man. Hit 13K, I heard today, or something like that. Crazy.
Nice.
5 days a week. Yeah. Xbox Factor podcast every Tuesday. All good things green. 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time. The Boomstick. Be there for that, of course. And then, God willing, back here with the Mav right here on Thursday nights, PM and the PM. Fun Speculation Network, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Central Time. Listen, y'all, it's the golden age of gaming. Please, please, please. So much to play right now. Get out there. Play what you love. Love what you play. And I will talk to you all real soon. We do have Vic, of course, the motherfucking Click, coming in at the end of the show, as he is wont to do, folks. He is this dude who does this all the time. Member for 21 months, says amazing episode as always. And then, of course, he follows that up with a $2 super chat, says hashtag Xbox takeover. Let's go. It is going to be Xbox Showcase season for sure, Vic. They are undeniable at this point because they are one of, if not the world's biggest publisher. Whew, boy, it's a good time to be a freaking gamer. It's a good time to be on the Xbox ecosystem. It's a good time to have freaking Game Pass, everybody. Mav, get us out of here. Love y'all.
Yep. Have a good one, everybody. Peace out. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, wait, hold on.
What?
Did you get the I wasn't paying attention. Did you get the super chat from Vic?
Yes, okay, I did. That's what I just read.
Yeah, sorry. I was looking at something else. I'm spaced
Can't
out.
wait to have
an
AI. Can't wait to have an AI assistant.
Later. Bye, everybody. Peace out.
Later, dog. Nate, dog.